Your boy Marty Bent here on a lovely Thursday afternoon. I got a stogie in hand. I got some Maker's Mark private selection courtesy of Alex Leishman. And I'm sitting down with my good friend Matt Odell for another edition of Rabbit Hole Recap. And we are joined by Tales from the Crypt's first ever producer, Car Gonzalez. Matt, how's it feel?
Let's fucking go. Cheers to Car. Cheers to the freaks for waiting this long.
It's 4.5 years in, however long in, and we've got a producer. How's the audio sound, freaks? Let us know. I hope it sounds better than last week. Matt has some explanations for last week's audio. What was it, Matt?
I mean, I don't want to make excuses, but the Zoom Linux client automatically just sets a setting where they just lower my volume in the background, like lower my mic volume in the background. Some fucking bullshit right there. I'm glad we're finally off Zoom. Been a long time fucking coming.
We're finally off Zoom. We'll be off Zoom forever. We've got a producer. We got a studio in the workings. I'll have more information about that. It's going to be in a very
This is the quickest 2 weeks for a producer ever, man.
Hey. Car came recommended by many people. I will say that, Car. You're highly recommended. Many people in my DMs coming in and saying, hey, Marty, Car's the man. We did a test run last week at the Pleb Labs, Austin Bitcoin meetups run out of there, Capital Factory. We did an episode with Justin Redrick, which is actually dropping tomorrow. It went flawlessly. Now we're here today. Car's been at my house setting up this studio. I sent you the pictures, Matt. What do you think?
They look very professional. I dig it.
I'm not looking into a MacBook Pro. I'm looking into a high-def camera here. There was a lot of people yesterday. I did that swan signal with Alex Epstein and Brady, and a lot of people were shitting on my camera. And hey, next day, we get a better one.
I'm the exact opposite. I'm never going to upgrade my camera. I don't need.
Why not?
You know, I'm already uncomfortable having my face everywhere. I'd rather if it was in low fidelity.
I mean, you're already in. You might as well just send it now at this point.
Nah. No 4K for Matt.
No 4K. All right.
Nah, I'm gonna make them work for it when they want to do all the face.
We're gonna get you a 4K. I mean, like this stogie. This stogie's been sitting in a plastic bag in my duffel bag. They were hand rolled at my cousin's wedding a few weeks ago. They taste pretty good.
So freaks in the live chat, I mean, I don't know if you noticed yet, but now that we have a producer, Car is going to highlight some of your comments and just throw them right into the video feed. So you have an additional incentive to participate in our live chat. Not that the ride or dies really needed one.
Yeah. It's and we're also you guys are on a 33-second delay. We're in the future, and you guys are behind us. Just to let you know.
Okay, you're not. You just broke the fourth wall.
I just gotta let them know. If like Neil just asked what kind of cigar, I already answered the question.
We're living in the future.
Yes, we are. We are living in the future. Should we just rip it? Should we get into RHR? We're gonna fanboy over our setup here.
Let's fucking rip. I mean, it's been 3 years in the making, so I think I think we're allowed to for a little bit. But okay, we can.
Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I got a whiskey in one hand, a cigar in the other. What do you think this does for us? Do you think this?
I think I don't think we deserve that much credit for it. I mean, it took us fucking long enough, so let's not grandstand too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna grandstand, put my boots on the table. Better late than never, okay? Okay, freaks. Right now, according to Clark's dashboard, the price of Bitcoin is $65,110. One cuckbuck's going to get you 1,536 sats. Their Bitcoin market cap is currently $1.23 trillion. We hit an all-time high this week of $69,010. Nice. We are currently 5.7% away from that. That was hit yesterday. We're currently at block height 700. What is that, 5,000? I got to read here. What is that? 709,280. That's where we're at. Taproot is locked in, will be activated at some point in the next 4 days.
November. No, it's going to be 2 days. 2 days. 709,632.
According to Clark's dashboard, estimated activation date is November 14th. It's the 11th. It's 11/11. 1,111.
It's like 2.2 days or something like that.
352 blocks. That's how far away we are.
Right, and it averages 144 blocks a day. Yeah, so it's like 2.2 days.
I gotta remember to keep the stogie going. Can't let the light go out. Where are we? Did we have a difficulty adjustment since last time? No,
Nope.
we did not. We are currently 352 blocks away. That makes sense. The activation is going to happen at the next difficulty adjustment, which is currently estimated. Oh, see, Clark, let's fix your dashboard. The difficulty retarget adjustment is November 13th, 2021.
When was the last time you donated to Clark?
You're going to put me on the spot like that?
Well, freaks, go donate to Clark so he'll improve the dashboard.
Yeah. Thanks for putting me on. Okay, I guess I'll donate to Clark.
Well, if you click the donate button, he actually has a really slick integration the way he did the donation.
All right, sweet.
One of the clean. Look how clean that is.
Yeah, Car, will you hit 25 on the Lightning Network, please? Yeah.
How cool is that? Isn't that fucking slick?
Yeah, well, let's see. See, you're gonna get paid. Ooh, you're a good. This is why I gotta keep pumping it. Ooh, this payment's not getting routed too well. We'll see if that keeps going or if I get an error there. Maybe do some channel management on our node. Where else are we? Clark's dashboard. I'm on the donate page myself. So we got almost a 5% difficulty adjustment coming in 352 blocks. There are currently 8,669 transactions in Clark's mempool. 1 sat per byte fees are going to get through, and Samurai unspent capacity is 4,140.36 bitcoins. That's 269 nice 0.4 million cuck bucks. I'm still giddy about this setup, Matt.
I know, it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. What? How's your week been? I've been having a great Thursday. Not only is this great, a great morning. We can get into my morning a little bit, but I want to hear more about your week.
It's been a good week. It's been a good week. After dispatch, I chilled with a bunch of New York Bitcoiners, and we went fucking hard. And it was so yesterday was the recovery day, but Tuesday was very good.
Yeah, it was a recovery day. I was texting you like, oh, I'm sorry, I haven't been responding. I hit it hard last night. Where'd you guys hit? Were you in Brooklyn, Manhattan, undisclosed?
I don't want to say specifically, but the restaurant we went to did not enforce vaccine passports. So,
ooh, yeah, don't snitch on them. All right, let's get into the list. We were talking about Taproot activation coming up in 352 blocks. Block height 709,632. What's going on? Do we have enough people with the correct version of Bitcoin Core?
I don't know, Marty. Have you upgraded your node?
I have.
Have you?
I have. It's running right now.
I've upgraded 4 or 5 of my nodes, but I have a Bitcoin Core node that I use with Spectre that I haven't upgraded because I just like the warning on the top and just left it. It's a confession. Okay. But four or 5 of my nodes have been upgraded. I mean, I don't think people should upgrade, but it is a soft fork, and
what are the
there shouldn't be concern there, right?
No, right? Like everybody's like, oh, this is coercion. Like if you have a version of Core that's version 0.21,
it like pops up a warning at the top, and it's like version bits out of date or unknown version bits are circulating the network.
But you can still send transactions, correct?
Yeah, I can use it just as like I always could.
Is the man in the coma going to wake up and have his node that he's been running for 5 years? He's going to have no idea about what's been going on. He just thinks that we're stuck on his version of Core. He's going to be okay, correct?
Yeah, of course. He's just going to have a version bits warning on the top. Okay. The warning's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. I'm running my Ronin Dojo.
But anyway, this Taproot upgrade is something we've been looking forward to for quite a long time. I don't think people should, some people in the space want to say like, oh, we're going to have a pump based off of it, or you're going to immediately get improvements. Like if you're expecting that, you're going to be disappointed. It's going to take some time for adoption of Taproot to happen. Taproot addresses are a different address type. So to get some of the privacy benefits that we're hoping with Taproot, you need adoption, because if only 1% of users are using it, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And it's going to be a slow roll process. Like it took a while for SegWit to get adopted by all these different tools. So don't expect an immediate change, but greatly looking forward to activation. And also, I bet you something that I'm going to lose, right?
Yeah. End of the year.
What
but you
was
also
the fucking bet?
1 million sats HRF, but you already made me match.
Oh, I already paid it. I already paid it under the expectation that I was going to lose.
Yeah, and then you forced me to match you, so we both. Right.
Donated. So if I did, so if, like if activation goes horribly wrong for some reason, then I could still win.
I don't know.
I don't know how it could go wrong. But.
You already conceded. I think you already conceded.
Okay, whatever. It's for a good cause.
Yeah,
but I win in principle.
Yeah, let's talk about.
I don't expect it to go wrong, so we should be good.
I don't either.
The thing is, like, people that are showing like the node numbers, like how many nodes have activated, how many nodes have upgraded, how many nodes haven't. Like that is unverifiable information. That is why proof of work exists. Like there's no way for us to prove if it's not just Marty running, 400 old nodes, or if it's actually 400 people running old nodes.
Yeah.
That's why proof of work exists in the first place. Damn, dude, you're smoking hard over there.
Hey, we're celebrating the new producer, okay?
There's no airflow. There's no airflow in Marty's backyard.
That's how you know it's a psyop. We're actually we're in a studio nowhere near Austin, Texas.
So we have Tom Brady in the comments asking, is it worth moving cold storage funds to Taproot addresses? I assume it's not the real Tom Brady because he's too busy with shitcoins. But you should probably wait a little bit. Like everyone just chill the fuck out and just wait.
There's no rush.
Yeah.
There's no rush. I mean, your coins are fine in cold storage. They can be in legacy addresses. They can be wrapped SegWit. They can be Bec32.
So
I don't think there's any rush to move them.
The main benefit of Taproot is multi-sig. You have better multi-sig privacy because it's not clear on chain until you spend that it is multi-sig, and it's not clear how many, what your key setup is. And you pay lower fees in multi-sig. So the main benefit is multi-sig. Obviously, Lightning is based off of multi-sig.
There's some scriptability upgrades as well.
So the real question is, like, if you're using multi-sig, do you wait for Taproot before you set up a multi-sig setup? Do you go straight to Taproot? And like, I really do think like people should just like wait a little bit and just like let things play out. Like
Yeah. Let somebody else make the mistake. And there's going to be teams and developers experimenting with it, and they'll probably be trying to stress test the upgrade and the new Taproot addresses. So I think for certain, especially people who really want to build things that leverage Taproot. I know a lot of Lightning Network developers, particularly who want PTLCs over HTLCs. They're going to use Schnorr and Taproot to do that. And so they're going to start building wallets and processes that enable that to happen. Again, that's going to take time. At Austin BitDevs last month, Ben the car man, he said, like, yes, Taproot's going to get activated next month. However, like, don't expect like anything really cool to come out of it for like the next 3 years, like, because you have to build whole new wallet structures and software around it to actually realize the benefits of Taproot and build functions around the potential that activating Taproot enables.
Yeah, exactly. Just have patience, freaks.
Yeah.
Also, when was the last time I drank scotch on Rabbit Hole Recap?
I don't know. It's been a while for me as well. But again,
I broke the seal on. I went on Princey's pod earlier this week while we were like hitting all-time highs, and I felt like I needed to.
Oh, you didn't stay humble.
No, I stayed humble. You're the one who popped champagne at the local top last time. It's a gift.
We're higher than that champagne pop.
I know. When we passed the all-time high right after Princey's pod. We didn't talk about the all-time high at all on the actual show. Now I was like kind of being facetious a little bit when I said that I was doing it for all-time high. I was doing it because Lauren is the best interview in the space, and like I needed to show her some respect. But we finished, and we found out after we finished recording that we passed all-time high. And my first thought was Marty got past his ordering champagne at the local top. So I thought of you. You were the first person I thought of when I saw that.
Well, I'm happy. Yeah, you were one of the first people I thought of as well. I wondered, is Matt staying humble right now? I hope he is.
I've been pretty good.
Yeah.
I've been pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and we've got. So let's talk about it. What do you think about the price action? Usually, we break all-time highs. So we had that a few weeks ago, and we consolidated. We broke all-time highs.
Open water
yes.
Bitcoin is the best Bitcoin.
Yeah, but is this even open water Bitcoin yet? This feels like a tremor.
I have to stay humble, but in my mind, this is an insane, like coiled type of setup. Like this seems like a very healthy, all-time high fuck around. You know, like leverage traders are going to get liquidated in both directions, as is tradition. And there's going to be volatility in the short term, up and down. But I mean, like, do you feel like any kind of real sense of euphoria at like 65K, 66K, 67K? It's just normalized. It feels very substantial, you know?
Yeah. I think it was Willie Woo might have tweeted out earlier, like Bitcoin is established as $1 trillion asset now. Like there's probably, I mean, we don't want to say it's not going to happen, but I think at this point, the possibility of falling below $1 trillion market cap I don't think we'll ever see a market cap below $1 trillion from here on out. Dump it, freaks.
Yeah, I mean, let's not do like the hodl knot thing.
Well, that's a particular price point. I think market cap's low.
What is the price for $1 trillion? Like, what is that number?
You'd have to take how many Bitcoin are on the market right now.
Does our producer do math?
I don't know, Card. I'm sure he does.
I suck at math.
So,
well, that fucking sucks. So do we.
Yeah, I'm notoriously terrible. How many Bitcoin are on the market right now? 18,870,416.5 Bitcoins. So I guess you divide that by $1 trillion, and you'd find the price, or you divide $1 trillion by that, and you'd find the price.
So you're not going to do it for us?
I can't do it. I have a stogie in my hand.
Okay, well, anyway, I don't go by market cap. Like, I don't conceptually think that way, so.
Did you see the Evergrande theory? That's something that's not on the list that maybe we could talk about. They officially defaulted on their debt and are going through bankruptcy, it seems. And did you see the theory about why we dumped yesterday around that announcement specifically?
No, but it sounds like bullshit. What's the theory?
They had to make an immediate payment. It was pretty significant. It was like, I forget the exact number. It was in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And there was a Bitcoin wallet, an address has been dormant since 2013 that moved exactly the amount that they needed to pay on that debt yesterday and around the time that we dumped. He's not even paying attention. He's holding up.
I'm answering the comments, and that's obviously a bullshit theory, Marty. Do you prescribe to it?
I just think it's interesting. Is it a coincidence? Maybe.
Is it interesting?
If you like that stuff.
I'm drinking Glenmorangie 18. It was a gift.
I'm drinking Maker's Mark Private Selection.
It's got a fantastic pop.
This one doesn't pop as well, but this again was a gift from Alex Leishman. Shout out to Alex, CEO, co-founder of River. CEO.
I don't know,
CTO.
like the on-chain stuff. Like I respect it, but like also like A lot of times it's just fishing to confirm your bias. And like a perfect example was I've been just like saying recently that, you know, Coinbase is around like 2.2 million coins under custody, and Glassnode tracks them significantly less because Glassnode only tracks the retail. And Coinbase recently released their earnings, and that's what they're at. They're around, you know, 2.25 million Bitcoin. So like those charts where you see like, oh, exchange balances are like dropping significantly, kind of bullshit, because it's very easy to sell from Coinbase custody or Anchorage or whatever fucking regulated custodian you're using, Prime Trust. And then like another one that's a perfect example is like when people say, this Bitcoin transaction was, you know, $70 million and it paid a fee of you know, $3 or whatever. And then you look at the transaction, and then it has common heuristics that show that the payment wasn't actually, you know, 100 million. The change was 100 million.
Right.
Know? So they like, you just like confirm the bias, throw out the bullish tweet. And like our next topic is like kind of on a similar vein to that, which is like everyone sending out their engagement tweets about the mayor of Miami giving Bitcoin to all of his citizens, all of his residents. This is so cool that we can do this thing over here.
Yeah. So let's dive into it. I saw you going back and forth with Manib yesterday. This Miami coin is built on stacks.
You know what the inspiration for that was, right?
No, I don't.
I listened to you and Justin's podcast.
Okay.
And you kind of like brought up stacks briefly, and I was like, this is completely wrong. And then so I looked up.
I wasn't like pumping stacks or anything.
I know, I know, but like you're like, it was just.
The
take wasn't based in reality. So
I have a very surface level understanding of stacks.
Right, and I spent way too much time trying to understand stacks, and then I got to the point of understanding where I thought that I had it figured out. So then I sent out like a bait tweet, and then I really figured it out when Manip was responding to me in the Twitter thread. So like the way stacks works. Okay, so you have stacks, right? The way stacks works is mining in stacks. They call it mining, which is confusing as fuck. But mining in stacks consists of you sending a Bitcoin transaction and hashing all the recent stacks transactions into the Bitcoin blockchain. And in return for that, you receive stacks. Your Bitcoin that you're sending in that transaction goes to current stacks holders who are staking. They call that stacking, to ruin my meme, or to ruin our meme, just fucking stacking. So it's called stacking. You have staking happening on stacks. So all stacks holders that are actively staking are receiving Bitcoin from stacks miners. So you send Bitcoin to current stacks holders, you receive stacks in return. The stacks holders are receiving your Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin yield. Now, the Miami coin is called City Coins. They built a layer on top of that. So to mine, quote unquote, mine Miami coin, you send stacks with the hash in there, and then those stacks go to Miami coin holders who receive your stacks, and then you receive Miami coin. So stacks is you get a yield of Bitcoin because you have constant Bitcoin coming in by people who want stacks. And then with Miami coin, you get stacks because you have a constant yield of people coming in, ideally to get Miami coin, and both have promises of future cash flow or sats flow, future Bitcoin cash flow.
Is it dependent on that to subsist?
Yes. So what you said was, you said the token bothers me, which the token does bother me as well, and that it doesn't need to exist. The token does need to exist for their, for their platform to work. I'm 99% sure they need that token, right? Because you need something that is being staked, and that's their consensus system, and it provides the cash flow rewards. Now, the main issue I have is actually, in a lot of ways, it's kind of elegant. It's like kind of an elegant way of instead of doing proof of work or instead of doing proof of stake, they call it proof of transfer. I called it a forever ICO multiple times because it kind of is a forever ICO. But instead of an ICO, a normal ICO where you're sending Bitcoin to like the team and it's just to fund them, in this case, it has a direct reason to exist, which is to hash the stacks information into the Bitcoin blockchain. And it's providing an incentive to do that.
So
The main issue. What?
to send to like stacks to do the transfer, do you have to do like an op return? Like how are they including and hashing that data?
I haven't gotten that far.
Okay.
But
right.
It's being hashed into the Bitcoin blockchain, right? And stacks addresses, you can derive Bitcoin addresses from the stacks addresses. So there's no wrapped Bitcoin or anything. Like you're literally paying Bitcoin to stacks holders' Bitcoin addresses to receive stacks. Now, the main issue to me, because it's actually it's clever as fuck, to be honest.
Are you becoming a stack show right in front of us?
No. The main issue is the stacks holders are being paid the Bitcoin, right? And the stacks distribution is fucking horrendous, right? It's just like it's pre-mined, pre-sale, like insider VCs, team, like the distribution is fucking horrible. So what I think could be interesting and would change the discussion. It would change the discussion a lot to me. Is if you change that initial distribution. So if you forked stacks and then you had either no initial distribution, so you had to burn Bitcoin to get your original stacks, maybe that could work. Because that's always the issue, initial distribution. Or
that was another hot topic this week, burning Bitcoin. We can touch on that later.
I know. Well, John's wrong about that. Anyway, how cool it could be pretty cool if at the current UTXO tip. So right now, if you did a what's it called, a stamp right now of what the current UTXO set is, what the current Bitcoin holdings are, and you translated it to stacks. And that's where you started with. So like current Bitcoin holders get the same proportion, no pre-mine, nothing. That could be interesting. Like then one of the things is like it's like liquid versus stacks.
Well, that's what Counterparty
and like
did.
They both kind of suck.
Isn't that isn't that what Counterparty did?
Counterparty did a burn.
Yeah.
So you burned for the initial supply.
But that's
always the issue, is that initial distribution.
And you got XCP tokens, right? Like that were commensurate with the sats that you burned.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That's the question, right? Like their initial distribution is like straight up 2017 ICO type initial distributions. It's like VCs, team members,
and
like
Stacks
blockchain.info.
Stacks was like one of the few that went through like the securities, like the actual.
Right, they registered as a security because you're literally, if you get a Stacks token, it's a promise of cash flow coming from a forever ICO. That's literally what it is.
So how would Stacks die if people stopped sending Bitcoin to?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the Stacks education.
But the way I spend way too much time on this. But
I saw you going back and forth. I was like, "Whoa, he's down there. He's getting into it."
It was like 2017 all over again. I spent like 45 minutes in the white paper. It was like filled with convoluted mess.
Remember that trend in 2017, dude? You see this white paper, man? Dude, the white paper. You got to read the white paper.
But yeah, I definitely do not miss that. But I had to figure out what it is because New York is going to release a city coin. It's pretty fucking hilarious that it's the same mechanism for how Stacks works, and they just like, it's like a Russian doll. It's like one of those Russian dolls where you just keep pulling it out, where it's the same exact mechanism. It just goes all the way down with cash flow.
Yeah,
it just goes.
I think this one's gonna survive for a while though, because you have Suarez creating a lot of FOMO around it, saying like, "Oh, the city of Miami made $4 million off of Stacks."
Yeah, so we literally have the city of Miami running a forever ICO and promising their citizens a portion of the cash flow of that ICO paid in Bitcoin. That's where we stand right now.
Are we okay with citizens getting Bitcoin at the end of the day, even if it is through this mechanism? What are your thoughts?
And it not only
I'm
that,
a straight cut guy.
but he's gonna. we're short on details. You know, these guys like just like announcing things on like random interviews. They're just like promises, like you don't know how much money they're gonna make. Um, but he said he's partnering with exchanges, so like he's gonna give them like a custodial KYC wallet funded by the city's ICO.
So it's like
And
Chivo
like,
almost,
yeah.
but like, will they be able to send it?
And the argument that like, so the argument for stacks having value, right? Because you said if people stop sending Bitcoin, the whole thing fucking dies, right?
That's what
The
it sounds
reason
like. Yeah.
the reason stacks is supposed to have value goes back to the utility token thesis of 2017,
M-
which is that
MV does not equal PQ.
but which is that this idea that to use stacks contracting language, smart contracting language, use any apps on stacks, you need stacks tokens, right? So so if people are doing NFTs on stacks or doing so-called DeFi on stacks, all these different stuff, they're going to need stacks, right? That's the utility token thesis. Now, I don't know why anyone would ever need Miami coin. Like there's no like that they haven't they just kind of launched that. You know, there's no governance rights. You get nothing out of Miami coin except promise of future cash flow of stacks, which gives you a promise of future cash flow of Bitcoin,
Yeah. So it does sound like one of those Russian dolls that you were
right?
describing earlier.
It's pretty crazy when you wrap your head around it. But yeah, I don't know.
I think it's gonna get. I mean, you have
I
these.
think people should stay humble and stack sats. To be clear, this is not a. I'm not pitching you stacks. I just think like you're gonna see New York coin happen, then like we're probably gonna have like Kansas City coin or some shit. Like there'll be like a challenger city that decides they want to compete at the same time, and they're gonna start all popping up, and people have no idea what the fuck's going on. I saw so much confusion on Twitter today that I felt like it was an important discussion to have.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you doing the research, and like that begs the question, like. Should we just expect all this? Like, and is Bitcoin
Yes.
enabling this, or are they just like leveraging Bitcoin's brand? Like, because the
The thing
Stacks
is,
holders can just produce Bitcoin addresses. There's nothing of the Stacks token that's inherently making that possible. Right? They're just tying them together, sort of loosely, almost, right?
no, I think that they built it in a way that you can derive
We do have to hash the data into the Bitcoin blockchain, so that is. A
And they
direct
built it in a
connection.
way that you could derive the Bitcoin addresses from the public Stacks address.
Mm-hmm.
So they intentionally designed it that way. You don't have wrapped Bitcoin, right? So is it better than like a regular ICO or like a traditional ICO? Maybe or maybe not. I don't know. But is
We
it
got a
better than
stack
like
shell in our hands.
is it better than using like wrapped Bitcoin on ETH? Yeah, probably. Like there's some nuance here. One of the things that really bothers me is besides the initial distribution is like the whole marketing behind the whole thing, right? So it's, proof of transfer. They call it proof of transfer. They say it's better than proof of work. They say it recycles Bitcoin's proof of work, which maybe it kind of does. I don't know. They call it Bitcoin mining when you send the Bitcoin to the stacks holders. They call it mining, the stacks mining when you call it. So like, I mean,
There's nobody running
like
Stacks ASICs or even GPUs, though, right?
I know, but like, why call it mining, right? They like intentionally call it mining to try and conflate the two terms. It's an accepted term already. They don't call it staking; they call it stacking. So like, they're literally a step away from saying like stacking sats is when you stake your fucking stacks to get Bitcoin, which is just I'm fine with it. Whatever. No one should own a meme, but way to just completely bastardize the whole point of it. Like
Well,
that's so it's like the marketing aspect feels very dirty,
okay.
and especially when it's dirty coming from someone who has 7% of the outstanding supply of the token. That just like it kind of hurts me. It hurts me inside.
So, is there is there a risk of a Bitcoiner sending their Bitcoin to Stacks and losing their Bitcoin? I guess that's something I want to get to the bottom of.
Yeah,
What is
of
the
course.
risk? Can they lose that Bitcoin? Like, or is that Bitcoin just locked and
The
Stacks,
Bitcoin
the
is not
Stacks can
locked.
lose value?
The Bitcoin
It's getting redistributed right away.
is going to the stacks holders
So it's not
that are
fully
stacking.
it's not fully collateralized It's not fully reserved.
What do you mean? It's not collateralized at all. You're literally paying existing holders Bitcoin and receiving stacks.
Yeah. Okay. This is weird. It's like again. We've talked about it. Stack of crap to me. Fishy J says. Yeah. It's weird.
Wiz is giving us shit in the comments. We're explaining the shitcoin
Dynamics.
the way the shitcoin works.
There's a lot of questions about it, Wiz. Matt had to take a deep dive. He's letting us know what he found during his homework excursion. That sounds like a terrible Wednesday, dude. You went down.
Yeah, I was hungover too.
Oh God, I'm loving this. Yo, if you guys are loving this too on the YouTube live stream, smash that like button, subscribe.
Oof, I hate that.
I'm sorry. We're gonna upgrade everything though.
Some influencer shit over here, Marty.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What would you prefer me to say?
I don't know. You were in during the Justin interview. You were like,
I thought I was pretty.
Influencers are the future. Influencers are the future.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't say there. I acknowledged having my experience at Barstool that the influence, like, it's better than buying a banner ad. Like, influencers, it's a
right
full-blown fact.
That's what you said.
There's numbers to prove it. Like, love it or hate it, it is.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you were endorsing it. No, it was a great conversation. It particularly hit when Justin said that my comment on Twitter, he went and changed the copy. So
he wants to talk to you. Yeah, obviously you listened to the episode, you know.
Yeah, listen to the episode.
Freaks, if you haven't listened to it, go watch. I know a lot of you are skeptical of Zion and everything. We went through it all. I thought you would have been proud of the line of questioning.
You did all right. Justin did better.
He did get his story is crazy. I didn't know he had that brain injury. That's insane.
Like you didn't bring up my comment about him saying that they were the first social media network on Lightning. He brought it up.
Yeah, and he brought it up in the context of my newsletter.
I'm just saying that he, I appreciated him bringing it up because I was disappointed you didn't. That's all.
You don't know the pre-interview talk, what we talk about. Here's what we want to hit on, or I would like to hit on, if you're comfortable with it. A little screening.
I feel that. Should we go? Should we head back to Bitcoin? Because
we're deep into stacks here.
I feel like part of what made RHR important was that we, in the early days of RHR, there was so much shitcoin shit going on because of 2017 that we went through taking lessons from the bullshit that was happening in the shitcoin space, right? So now as this new cycle approaches,
there's going to be new lessons to learn.
Yeah, yes, we're a Bitcoin show, but I think it's important that Bitcoiners are educated on what the newest scheme is out there and how that works. So
yeah, because no matter how many cycles you go through, they somehow always find a way to make these scams anew and to figure out a new way to sell it to the public and be like, ooh, this time is different. And so now we're trying to figure out how this time is different. Yeah. This was okay. Next topic. This was something that a bunch of freaks basically came to us about this week. Compass mining, the delays. We've been talking with Wit. Obviously, there's a lot of frustrated Compass users. Disclaimer, Compass is a sponsor of this podcast. Disclaimer, I do like the team at Compass, but regardless, there are significant delays. As we can see here on the screen at Bitcoin Cameron, Compass Mining has delayed my miners again on their site. I bought miners on July 16th, and now they are saying end of November. Should have been end of September. They aren't transparent at all, even though they preach that they are. I know people who are waiting for August. Since August. I think that's what Bitcoin Cameron meant, but that's not what he wrote. This is
fucking sucks.
It's happening, right? Like, so people are buying ASICs, they're choosing particular hosting facilities. So I think, having spoke with Wit, one particular hosting facility in South Carolina specifically,
that's what the main issues are, is the South Carolina facility.
Yeah, has had delays in building out the rack space that they promised Compass. And so they have the ASICs, the rack space just wasn't built in a timely manner. And I guess this is a good segue into an open conversation. Like, oh, like, is Compass a bad actor? I don't think so. What do you think, Matt?
Well, so first of all, like I mean, he's one of both of our buddies, but I don't know if you know about this, but I talked to a buddy when I was in Austin who like 2 weeks ago signed up for their Russian hosting facility. And he was up in like 6 days, like flawless experience. So it's constrained to different facilities.
Yes.
Like they don't mix supply. So whatever facility you pick is the facility you pick. Now, do I think that Compass was very ambitious on their timeline dates when they sold pre-orders? I think they were, and I think they could have been more conservative about those dates. I think pre-ordering ASICs without even having the hosting space, right? Just selling minor pre-orders is like it's a very fine line. You got to be very careful because in the history of Bitcoin, mining pre-orders, ASIC pre-orders are just historically delayed all the fucking time, right?
Yeah. And so there's,
And then if you combine that with hosting capacity, and then all of a sudden you have another issue on your hands, right? Especially if you don't have that vertically integrated hosting capacity. So, I some people are saying that they didn't allow them to get refunds on their ASICs. I feel like people should have been allowed to get refunds on their ASICs. I'm not sure what the case was there in that respect. And me personally, and I think I've been very consistent with this on the show, is that I don't think people, I think if people are interested in mining, they should own the ASICs themselves. They should run them themselves. They should hold them themselves. And if you're going to use something like Compass, if you're going to use a hosted provider, you're going to have, less actual overhead yourself. You're going to get a lower electrical rate, but everything has trade-offs, and those trade-offs go all the way down, right? So you have more trust in Compass, you have trust in their hosting provider, and then whatever country the hosting provider is in, right? So like our buddy bought miners in Russia. They're hosted in Russia. He's paying 4 cents a kilowatt hour, but
they're in
he's
Russia.
got to trust Compass, whoever's running that fucking warehouse, and fucking Putin, right? Like he's got to trust all those people not to fuck him, rather than running the ASICs himself. Maybe he'll be paying 20 cents a kilowatt hour if he runs the ASICs himself. Last but not least, I would just add, and I did talk about this on Princey's pod as well, that their business model is based on taking a cut of your energy costs. So the incentives are set up in a way that they should want to get them running as quick as possible because they're making the majority of their money while your miners are running. They get a cut, they get a piece of that. If you're paying 5 cents a kilowatt hour while your miner's running, they're getting a cut of that. So when your miner's off, are they making some money off of the actual ASIC sales? Yes, most likely, I assume. But the majority of their money is supposedly being made off of that cut. So the incentive is relatively is a sound incentive.
Agreed. And yes, I think there's a number of things. Like, I don't think they're like over promising on the ASIC delivery. Like, if you want to, you can buy the ASIC, have it sent to your house, and you plug it in. They have their out-home mining support. You can leverage that whenever. And from what I understand, the ASIC delivery, if you just get it sent to you directly, has been pretty timely. There hasn't been delays there. And yes, it is particular hosting facilities that have promised rack space availability that just isn't there yet. And like Matt said, most definitely, Compass probably should have been more conservative with that, but part of growing pains with the startup. Are we ready to throw Compass on it? Me personally, I'll just speak for myself. No, I think they're trying to do very admirable things, and they're working their hardest to make it happen. And as we know, 2021 are significant supply chain disruptions, and that's affecting every industry, not only Bitcoin mining, but like hard industries like the energy sector as well, and utilities. That it's like impossible to get transformers now. So that, I don't know the exact hiccup at the South Carolina facility, but I could easily see it being them not being able to get transformers, because that's something I've experienced being in the mining space a lot this year. Is a lot of these players that are building out capacity to host miners are doing so initially with like transformer delivery schedules that keep getting pushed back and pushed back. It's like trying to buy furniture for the house that I just moved into. Everything keeps getting pushed back and pushed back. And so considering the nature of the global supply chain, like Matt said, like it probably should have more conservative estimates on the exact go live date for facilities that don't have the available rack space. It is unfortunate. Do I think Compass is bad actors trying to scam people? No. I think they're working hard to control more of the infrastructure. I think that is why they announced or a product of that is them announcing the 140 megawatt expansion in Ontario. And yeah, so O3 Jan 09 in the comments saying Gigawatt ran into the same issues with build out delays, and this was a facility back in like 2016. Well, it was Gigawatt was promising. So this is where like Gigawatt was promising the miners and the electricity, and a lot of people like bought it straight up, I believe, and they like Washington State literally did not let them build out the infrastructure on the electricity side, and so they had a bunch of people like that they promised to have miners plugged in. They literally weren't allowed to build the infrastructure by the state.
So that's not like a good example. Blockware had a similar situation, and it was even worse, right? And I wouldn't say Blockware is like an outright scam, but Gigawatt was like an outright scam.
Yeah,
right?
It was like a totally incompetent team that overpromised and had no ability to deliver on the back end.
Look, I've never bought anything from Compass. I'll repeat it again that I want the freaks to message me on Keybase or Telegram or Threema if you have any issues or if you've had a good experience with Compass. I've actually had almost a 50-50 split, and it seems like the majority of people that have had issues is the South Carolina facility. That all said, my understanding is that you paid for the miners in fiat, and you're waiting around, you have all these issues, and you weren't given the ability to get a return in fiat.
Some people paid in Bitcoin too.
Like you should be able to get whatever you paid in, you should be able to get that return if they miss their deadline. I think is like a relatively reasonable expectation. They can resell those ASICs. If they actually have the ASICs, they can easily resell those ASICs. It's a fucking booming market. And, you know, it seems like a lot of the concern here is on transparency and communication, you know? So to me personally, would I buy a Compass miner today? Like on the thing, I would not do that. Like that does not seem like a good idea. Like if you're going to get stuck waiting 4 or 5 months to get this thing plugged in, who knows where we're going to be in 4 or 5 months?
Would you buy it with the intention of having it sent to you though?
Yeah. The home part, I like the home part, the white glove mine at home thing. I like that. The hosted miner thing scares the shit out of me. Like I got scammed on cloud mining. I know this is better trade-offs than cloud mining. It's a better trade-off than fucking Blockstream's mining token, but I would not host my miners in this way. I just
throw Blockstream under the bus out of nowhere.
It's true though. Trade-offs. You know, again, some people are buying it.
So there's a trade-off spectrum with the at-home mining service. The trade-offs are minimized. It's like you have more control over that. Their ASIC delivery has been on time, no delays there. If you have the electricity on the back end, you're able to plug it in. Like that's probably the best way to go. Obviously, like you said, I have had a bunch of freaks reach out to me, and they've had flawless experiences as well. So I think this is a case of many of the bad experiences being blown up.
But the people that have had the bad experiences, like they're people I respect and trust. Bitcoin Cameron, right? Like Max Bit by Bit has had issues. A bunch of freaks that like I kind of know pretty well that have reached out. That I'm not going to name by name because those were private messages. Those other two were in, and to talk about trade-off balance, right? Is the risk of if you choose to host on Compass, it's KYC light, right? So you're paying them with a credit card. They have your billing address and your credit card information, but they don't actually know your UTXOs because you like connect it directly to Slush Pool, and it's going to Slush Pool, and then Slush Pool sends it to your wallet. So they don't know your exact UTXOs. If your alternative is dollar cost averaging, stacking, you know, through a regulated KYC service where you're sending them all your intimate personal info, and then they also have your exact Bitcoin withdrawal history, then Compass kind of like slots in there in between that trade-off model, right? Along the trade-off balance. But if you can actually hold ASICs yourself, and you can mine at, less than 28 cents a kilowatt hour, 30 cents a kilowatt hour, like you should not even be considering hosted mining. Like you should just fucking do it yourself.
Well, this gets into an interesting discussion because we had a friend hit me up on Telegram, or excuse me, Signal yesterday, and ask questions like, are you worried about like the home mining craze and like all these plebs getting into mining, not understanding all the trade-offs? And it does, like, and I think we have done a good job, maybe some episodes more so than others, of explaining the trade-offs, and like it is a risk. Like if you guys are spending over $10,000 on these ASICs, at the top of the line ASICs are all over 10 grand right now, I believe. And there's many factors. Like, so the name of the game of mining is you want to buy your ASICs and acquire them and plug them in as quickly as possible. Because every day after you pay for that ASIC is an opportunity cost of missing out on Bitcoin. You could have bought 10 grand worth of Bitcoin, and the price can go up 20% in 2 weeks. You get your ASIC, and then you got to play catch up there. You got to make, say Bitcoin,
the equivalent of whatever the Bitcoin amount was.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of a dynamic shift there, right? Because if you pay in fiat, I think it doesn't matter if you recoup fully. If you pay in Bitcoin, then it does. Because if you pay in fiat, you're getting the benefit of no KYC or less KYC, depending on how you do it.
Yes. If KYC, it depends on what your goals are. Like KYC Bitcoin or just as much Bitcoin as possible, agnostic to whether it's KYC light or full KYC.
Well, I mean, we're talking about trade-offs, right? If we're talking about trade-offs,
yeah, exactly. It's a different model for every individual's particular goal, right?
If I could pay someone $10,000, $12,000 in cash for an ASIC, right? I'm not going to peg that to the price of Bitcoin when I bought it.
Because you have a premium on
if I bought Bitcoin, I'd be buying through KYC, and then I have no privacy whatsoever, and my information's in a fucking database, and I'm just fucking bagged and tagged.
So you're willing to pay a premium for that, essentially.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way.
I'm not willing to get the discount that KYC provides.
Yes, I guess that's another way to put it. Yeah. Take it easy on that fat cigar. Nicotine poisoning is a bitch. And I think this is just straight tobacco. I don't think they put nicotine in cigars.
Of course, nicotine isn't tobacco, bro.
I thought that was an added.
No. Nicotine's like the main fucking chemical or like the main fucking component of tobacco that gets you fucking going.
I'm sorry, freaks. I've had a nicotine addiction since I was like 15. So half my life now. That's shit. That's fucking scary to think about.
Yeah, it's true that it's better to buy rigs in the bear market. We have a tweet up here, but like, I mean, 3 months ago wasn't the bear market, and there was fucking great deals to be had. So,
and there's an argument to be made that even now buying them is still a great deal. Like, again, going back to the supply chain issues, like, is there going to be an influx of ASIC supply in 2022? It's yet to be determined if the semiconductor foundries will give priority to ASIC manufacturers. Tobacco has nicotine, you banana. Nobody's ever called me a banana. I thought nicotine was like an added thing to tobacco. Yeah, well, that's another thing that I don't think you have on the list, but maybe we should discuss, is Bitmain announced the release of the Antminer S19 XP.
Yeah, don't pre-order them, freaks.
I don't know if you're gonna. So this was John Carvalho, right? I guess.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
No, I don't think. Well, I have some inside baseball. I mean, I know many people within. So this isn't the one. This is the S19 Pro. They announced the S19 XP, which I believe is 150 terahash a second and 21.9 joules a terahash, which is like an extremely efficient miner, high hashing and extremely efficient on the energy pool that it has. So if the specs that Bitmain is touting are true and they're able to deliver miners that actually work on the first batch, It is a significant boost, almost a 40% increase in efficiency and a 50% increase in terahash per second. I believe their top of the line models are like 105, so not quite 50, but around there, which is a massive jump. They're using 5 nanometer chips from TSMC. I believe they've already had a couple of 5 nanometer chip runs, and apparently, from what I'm hearing, they've worked out the kinks, and that is what the worked out kink version of their 5 nanometer ASIC is going to be the S19 XP.
And what's the shipping date for that?
July, I believe it starts in July 2022 or September. July, or might be. I think it might be July. I think it's July, from what I recall.
Okay, so how about this? Are you sure it's July?
I'm pretty sure. Car, if you can go to @Woo Blockchain, they're the ones that tweeted it out.
Yeah, very credible.
Yeah,
so
check it right now. Let me check.
And the block had an article on it as well. If you want to go.
Okay, so Marty, if a freak receives one of those miners by end of July and takes a picture of it and sends it to us, you want to do that bet? Because there's no way that happens.
I mean, well, let's not. Let's find out the release date. I'm recalling from memory. It's either July or September.
Either July or September is a big difference. That's a good. You should check.
Yeah. That's why I want to check.
Like you can barely get new cars, but now we're just gonna trust but not verify Bitmain saying that they're gonna release the best miner ever.
I'm not trusting them. I'm saying this is what they're saying.
I'm just saying, if you operate under the assumption that that's gonna happen, you're not gonna.
Is that it, Marty?
No, I don't think that's the one.
It's Woo Blockchain. It's WU Blockchain on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
This is cool that we have a producer now.
WU, not WOO. Yeah. Woo Network.
Oh, Google knows. You're supposed to use DuckDuckGo when we're on air.
I use DuckDuckGo. Colin Woo. Keep going down. He tweets a lot. Down. Up. It was like wait. Where are we at? Oh, this dude tweets way. Yeah, we gotta go to like 2 days ago. How much do you tweet, Woo Blockchain?
There it goes. Is that it?
Yes, the S19 XP. There we go. Bitmain.
When does he say? He doesn't. Classic.
Wait. No,
do we know it's a...
No, there's another tweet below it because this is another one.
Above it?
No, keep going down. Keep going down. Up. Down.
Up, down, sideways, right. Go
down.
right.
Keep going down. Freaks listening at home. Sorry if.
Yeah, I don't think it's there, Marty.
Wait. Go down. Go to like November 9th and 8th.
Oh, okay.
Right up there. That block article. Up there. No, that's circle to invest in Singapore. No, yeah, well.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Okay, well, keep looking, Car. If you can find it, let us know.
Yeah,
that's how when Joe interacts with the producer, that's what he does. He says, go look for it, and then we just continue our conversation.
We found our Jamie. Car's our Jamie. Car.
We have to figure out. We have to get used to that. What is as a concept?
Look at this up, Jamie. What's the
pull it up.
Pull it up.
He
Jamie.
says Google that, Jamie, and then or something like that.
Yeah, well,
but Matt wants me to use DuckDuckGo, which is
no. You. I mean,
so if you're gonna have to say DuckDuck. You have to say DuckDuck that, Car.
DuckDuck that. Just find it. Yeah. So Bitmain announced a new miner.
I'm so fucking bullish on this setup.
So there's like John Carvalho is like, "Ooh, I told you, Marty," and people are like tagging me and they're like, "Oh, China's like trying to get rid of the old ASICs. They're gonna produce like a higher terahash, more powerful."
I haven't listened to that episode yet. I spent an hour talking to John at the bar, so I didn't feel like I had to listen to it.
You get mentioned in that one towards the end. You got to listen. He's not a fan of Whirlpool, and that's
yeah, I mean I love John. John is a brother, but his fungibility privacy perspective is just, I don't even fucking know where to begin. But that's, a whole nother story.
We can have a civilized conversation about that with John at some point in the future. So his theory was that China get rid of all the quote unquote top of the line miners, then come out with an even better one, mine by themselves. Which obviously Bitmain coming out with this, who knows? July 2022. I was right. I do believe there will be deliveries in July 2022. Do I think? Am I certain? Am I confident that the first batch of these miners will be as performative as, let's say, like the S19J or the S19 Pro that's out now? I'm not as confident, and we've seen, particularly with the S17 series.
The S17 are horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
They're fucking garbage.
Like anybody who bought the first two batches of S17s, some of them had like a 33% failure rate. So
wait, so when are they saying these are coming out? Did you just say?
July 2022.
Okay, so July 2022, a freak gets one of these and sends a picture of it.
Well, that's the thing. It's not going to be a freak. They're only doing like large miner deals first with like coveted partners.
Okay, how about this? What is the performance gain here? It's like 5x, 6x?
No, it's like 50%. Terahash per second.
So it's like 2x?
It's like 150, I believe, terahash per second, which I think top of the line right now is like maybe 105, maybe 115, 140 terahash.
Do you think the hash rate will be 4x higher than it is currently right now in July 2022?
No. 4x? I don't think so.
I mean, because there's still current gen miners being made. So you have to account for them too.
Yeah, and if the price goes up, S9s will keep running. Maybe some older ones will even get plugged back in. Because they're still profitable, like 18 cents a kilowatt hour, which is pretty insane. Gamble, Matt. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not comfortable guesstimating on hash rate. I'm more comfortable wagering on whether or not they get delivered. I think they'll get delivered, whether or not they'll be to spec or the failure rate will be in what would be deemed an acceptable territory or standard deviation for industrial miners. I'm not confident in that either. I do think they will be delivered.
I feel like we're at the tail end.
But beyond that, that's all I'm willing to bet on is will they or will they not be delivered?
By when?
July 2022.
To who?
To the partners that they're like releasing them to first.
Yeah, but like, what if they're in bed with it? Like, who? Like, just some random fucking miners, or?
I mean, I think they have partnered. I believe Crusoe, which is another natural gas flare mining company. They were in Dubai when they announced this, and they were on stage with Bitmain, and I think they'll be one of their first customers. So we'll be able to go ask Chase and Cully if they've got their miners delivered.
Between the supply shortage and my complete lack of faith in Bitmain,
wait, even post Jihan, like I wouldn't write Bitmain off post Jihan.
It's post Jihan and post the guy who left to start What's Miner.
Yes, Dr. Zhang or Zhao.
Yeah, I mean, Great American Mining doesn't run any Bitmain miners.
No. We're What's Miner. We're not maximalist. We're agnostic. We trust What's Miner. We do. They are.
We're agnostic. We just only use What's Miners. Between that, the macro supply shortage, and the fact that Bitcoin price I expect to increase. Like, I still think we could be at the tail end where acquiring ASICs could be worth it, and there's going to be insights.brains.com.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that? Did you see that chart I posted from there? The hash value per hash price.
I don't believe it. I don't believe I saw it. I don't.
Car, pull up insights.brains.com.
It's brains BRAIINS.com.
Yeah.
I.
Brains double I.
Yeah.
Car doesn't listen to the ads.
Okay, scroll down.
Yeah.
Wait, hash value versus hash price. Click that on the chart. Above, a little bit above. Yeah, hash value versus hash price. This is the coolest fucking chart in Bitcoin. So it shows the cost of ASICs versus the the value you can get out of them.
So when the yellow is above the blue and the delta between the yellow and the blue is largest, that's when you want to buy the miners.
Right, but I think the yellow is about to go up.
Yeah. Yeah, because hash rate's coming on, and the ASICs are getting more expensive.
So don't buy it now? Is that what you're saying?
It's getting to a point.
Saying this is like the end of this period.
Yeah.
So buy it now.
Weigh your risk. Weigh the trade-offs. It depends. So it depends. What is your all-in cost of electricity? So the hash price you're paying is the price for the ASIC. The hash value is the value per terahash produced by that ASIC. And so to create a higher margin on that hash price or the hash value that you're getting for the hashes that you're producing, you want to make sure that your electricity cost is as low as possible so you have the highest possible profit margin. So number of variables. At what price do you get the ASIC? How quickly do you get it and get it plugged in? And then what is your on electricity cost after that? You want to get the lowest price, you want to get it in the fastest time, and you want your electricity cost to be as low as possible. That is the magic spot right there. So that's what you have to take into consideration. And it's not trivial. If you're just getting into the mining game, even if you have cheap electricity and you're able to get it at a good price, it may take you a while to actually get it plugged in and figure out how to actually get it plugged in, keep it up and running, and not have any problems, whether it be with heat dissipation or just being able to autonomously control the miner remotely. Because that's one thing. You could run it at your house, you can go to work. You leave for work at 9 a.m. at 9:15, your miner craps out. And unless you have the code to remotely log into your miner via like a virtual machine or something and reboot it, you're going to be hashing. You're not going to be hashing while you're at work. No, it does happen. Yeah.
And even if it does, if it happens on the rare occasion, then when you come back from
it's
work,
it's not that rare, dude. It's not that rare.
No, well, first of all, if you're using a What's miner, as soon as it loses internet connection, it stops hashing. It just runs into like straight cooling mode.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not like killing electric at that point.
No, but you're not hashing. It doesn't matter if you're not killing electric.
But if you're at work for 8 hours or whatever, like, yeah, that sucks. But like if it happens once every 4 months, once every 5 months, it's like that's not the end of the world. If it's like in the middle of bumfuck and it's like on a nat gas well or something, like that's one thing. But if it's at home, worst comes to worst. If you go out drinking and like you have like 5 hours of downtime or something, like who fucking cares?
Let's say they mine 5 blocks in that. That's like, and you're paying a high electricity cost. Those are precious sats that you're missing out on. That's all I'll say.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that was a great discussion.
That was a mining talk at TFTC. Yo. Cheers to you, brother. We got a producer.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I let my dogs in to the office because they decided they want to wrestle in here, and he muted me and removed me from the screen. So cheers to that.
Are you not going to cheers me?
You want me to cheers you? I thought you were cheersing Cam.
Cheers, Marty.
Cam. Car. I got to give you the whiskey.
Sorry, Car.
I'm on the job, Marty.
Yet.
I don't want to.
I literally met Car like 45 minutes ago. I didn't give them a pop, so I had to give them a pop. Cheers. The Car.
Cheers. Here's the car. Here's to you. Here's all you freaks out there. Thank you for coming. Let us know what you think about the production. Yeah, keep it over there. I'll come get it later. My wife probably doesn't want me drinking any more whiskey after this glass.
All right, this is where the streaming fails.
I had a good day. Let's get in like a little tangent here. I met Michael Atwood, from the creator of the Oshi app. Obviously, if you freaks have listened to the Texas Slim episode, he had just come from KNC Cattle Ranch here in Austin to the studio here, outdoor in Austin, Texas, at my house to record. And one thing he said in that episode, he's talking a lot about Oshi app, but more importantly, he's like, all right, we need to get out. We need to shake these people's hands. We need food security. We need more local outreach. And so I took that to heart. And this morning I went to KNC Cattle Ranch and went there again with Michael Atwood, and we onboarded them on the Oshi app. We showed them Bitcoin, and in the hour and a half that we were there, we went on a tour. I brought my wife, my son, my sister. He put us in a truck. I was sitting shoddy with my son on my lap, going slowly in his truck through through the ranch, looking at all the cattle. My son was hanging out the window, loving it. He was telling us about the troubles that have come with inflation, like the feed cost for a lot of these cattle. Like he was saying, his feed costs are up like 60% in the last year, which is insane, just to feed his cattle. And it's not the highest margin business, so they're trying to get creative. And if you listen to the Texas Slim episode, we're trying to get as many of these local ranchers, these regenerative ranchers, these people who aren't succumbing to the factory farming style that is popular and is where most people get their meat from in this country. We need to support these small farmers. So I went there today, shook his hand. Cole, shout out to Cole and Mike at K&C Cattle Ranch here in Austin, literally in the city limits. It's a pretty cool spot. They're doing an incredible job over there. They're raising very good cattle. They only give them very few necessary vaccines when they're very early. There's no hormones and no antibiotics unless it's absolutely necessary. And they're producing a great product. I've tried a few of their steaks. I got some deliveries last month and went today. They're accepting Bitcoin now. I paid for a 13-pound brisket, $50 in Bitcoin. We're getting these ranchers on the SAT standard.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I'm also helping. Awesome. I'm also helping Slim with his podcast too, Marty. Just getting it off the ground for him. So you guys should check it out.
Car, we don't show other podcasts on this podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the name of?
Slim's a great guy.
I know. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
What's the name of his podcast?
Texas Slim's Vision. He's cool as fuck, dude. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's
awesome.
Old school cowboy, man.
He's a base
freaks.
A base Gen Xer.
Consider going and subscribing to that. And I see people in the comments asking what Car's Twitter handle is. It's ThrillerX_. So go follow Car.
ThrillerX_. Whew. I wish you guys could see what's in front of me right now. I sent Matt a picture. There's a legit setup. Car got here 2 hours before the recording. Set up, troubleshooted. We have a producer, freaks. Hopefully.
So Marty, I mean, we like to talk business on air. So it'd be cool if we had rival lightning donations underneath each of our faces. And then
don't make the freaks pick favorites.
As people agree to us, it like comes in and it shows like the votes as they're coming in, like if they agree with our debate or not.
You'll be happy to know I got the Podcasting 2.0 podcasting index set up. We're doing a 50-50 split from here on out. I figured it out.
Yeah, let's go.
So you should see the public key that you sent me receiving sats when people begin listening to this on Podcasting 2.0 compatible apps.
Already? Like
yeah. Not right now. I mean, we'll have to upload it to the RSS feed. And then once people listen to it, you should see it.
Oh, starting with this episode.
Yes.
Nope.
I mean, before this episode, it was just going to like a company node. Now we have like personal nodes. Yeah.
Oh, you're explaining to the freaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what happens when you talk business on air.
Voting in sats. Let's fucking go.
Right? Isn't that a cool idea? I just thought of that.
Yeah, and DJ. So DJ, if you're listening to this, I got that set up. And then DJ, if anybody from the Podcasting 2.0 team is listening, DJ Seeds, who's our developer here, our in-house developer, fucking legend, young stud of a developer in the Bitcoin space. He's not in it full time, but he helps us out. He's gracious enough. We're lucky to have him. If anybody from the Podcasting 2.0 team is listening, I'm going to email Adam Carey after this and introduce him to DJ anyway, but in case we can front run that, DJ has some ideas about like per episode sat splitting between host, producers, and guest as well. He thinks he can build it out pretty efficiently. So anybody working on Podcasting 2.0 and haven't heard from DJ yet or me yet, please DM me. We'll get that hooked up. He's fucking an incredible developer.
We have TL Conscious in the comments asking if you pay more sats, does your vote count more? Yes. That was my idea.
I think Citizens United basically etched that into law, right?
Money is speech.
Yeah, and more money is more speech. Is that?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Yeah. I gotta get the ember back.
Can we go to? Do we have shout outs?
We do have shout outs. I'll go to shout outs. I had them up here. First one, it was too long for the text box on the contribute page. I had Tyler Our Minnesota brother is now working on Chain. He's down in Austin. He's not an Austin brother. He reached out. He said, hey, we got a Minneapolis Bitcoiner who wants to give a good shout out. It's longer than the text box allows. Can he email it to you? And I said, Tyler, I trust you. Tyler's the guy who created the intro to TFTC, to all of our episodes. So I trust him.
If you're not paying attention, you probably should be.
You probably should be. So this is a bit longer of a shout out. It comes from Minneapolis Bitcoiner. And here it goes. This is only the beginning. Do not stop stacking. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. They're not going to stack themselves, okay? Without you, they're just magical numbers on a computer screen. Like a loaded M16 without a trained Marine to pull the trigger. And in the case of stacking sats, my highly trained Bitcoiners, my killers will not take no for an answer. My fucking warriors who will not stop stacking sats until the Bitcoin runs out or you fucking die. Let me tell you something. There's no nobility in poverty. I've been a rich man and I've been a poor man. And I choose rich every fucking time. At least as a rich man, when I face my problems, I show up my cold card in a Trezor. Now, if anyone here thinks I'm superficial or materialistic, go get a job at fucking McDonald's so you can stack more sats. But before you depart this room full of winners, I want to take a good look at both of us. Because if not, in the not so distant future, you're pulling up to a red light and your beat up old fucking Pinto, and that's the person that's going to be in the Lambo with their beautiful wife by his side who's got voluptuous tits. And who will you be next to? Some disgusting wildebeest with 3 days of razor stubble and a sleeveless moo-moo crammed in next to you with a carload full of groceries from fucking Price Club. That's who you're going to be fucking sitting next to. So you listen to me and you listen well. Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good. Stack some fucking sats. If your landlord is your landlord ready to evict you? Good. Stack some fucking sats. Does your girlfriend think you're a fucking loser? Good. Stack some fucking sats. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich. All you have to do today is stack some fucking sats, and I'll make you rich. It'll make you richer than the most powerful CEO of the United States of fucking America. I want you to go out there and stack some fucking sats till you fucking choke on it and buy 100 million sats. That's what I want for you. Hey, Matt, do you have any humble comments there?
I'm a little bit speechless. Was he saying that he was in the Lambo in that situation?
I think he did say he's rich. I don't think a rich guy's gonna be driving a Pinto.
Right. So he's in the Lambo.
And he's saying if you're poor and you're
the voluptuous tits, right?
Yeah, she's got voluptuous tweets too.
Look, freak, I love the
enthusiasm.
The enthusiasm. Enthusiasm's a word, but it doesn't quite hit it. I love the fucking
aggression.
Aggression is the wrong word as well. But you got to stay a little bit more humble, bro. Like that's I don't know. I mean, first of all, Lambos you can't even buy and fucking stick.
Lambos are cheesy. Lambos are cheesy. Don't buy Lambos, freaks.
You're gonna buy that much. You're gonna spend that much on a fucking car, and you're not even gonna fucking use it properly. So
stack sats until you become the landlord. It's from Closed Network. Yeah, the Minneapolis Bitcoiners are they fucking
investment
send
real
it.
Estate's a shitcoin, so
they send it, bro. They send it. Okay. Next shout out. Okay.
I like the message for the most part of that, and I appreciate you, freak, for supporting the show. But instead of Lambos, it should be Citadel. It should be, carve out your own piece of land, and
Daria, it is all a matter of taste.
Don't take shit from anybody.
Yeah, get some land, get some productive land, some productive assets. Make sure you're using your sats to create more sat streams. That's my advice. That's something I can advise. Create as many sat streams as possible. That should be your goal.
Yes. Sats flow.
Sats flow. Sats equal independence. Yes, they do. Weirdo bot. Next shout out. I like this one. Short and sweet. Recommended reading. Damon and Freedom by Daniel Suarez.
Yes.
I haven't read it yet. Have you?
They're very good. You keep saying Ready Player One, but that's good sci-fi right here.
I haven't read it. Have you read it?
Yeah. Yeah, I read like everything from Daniel Suarez, but those are his best two.
So there's two different books. Damon and Freedom. Separate books.
It's Freedom is number 2 in the series.
Can we get a gist?
Damon's first.
Going over dystopian future, optimistic.
It kind of there's like kind of a Bitcoin tilt to it. It doesn't have like one of the problems with sci-fi to me nowadays is like the sci-fi doesn't incorporate Bitcoin. It's like not
It's a shitcoin.
realistic.
Yeah.
It's just like not realistic, you know. But Damon was like a genius, wealthy person, dies, and he releases this code on the world that
It was this dead man switch.
yeah, like it creates a future where it's more egalitarian and proof of work style. So it kind of feels
God, I love having a producer.
it like feels like in tune with like my Bitcoin perspective. But there's no Bitcoin in it. There's like a credit system. Like there's a digital credits, and they don't like explain how the digital credits work. If those were Bitcoin, if you did like a rewrite and just added Bitcoin in there, then it'd be
Perfect.
yeah.
All right. So shout out to that anonymous freak. Again, recommend a reading. Damon and Freedom by Daniel Suarez.
He also has one called Kill Decision, which is like not written as well, but like the idea is like autonomous drones like are just launched around the world and just start killing people. And like no one knows who's running the autonomous drones because it's just off the shelf parts. And I feel like that as a concept is scary as fuck and it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean that's fuck. We're not getting black. We got too deep into the pod life last week. We're keeping it white pilled here this week. I
liked what was it Casey Rodarmer said to us?
The white pill on the
he's like,
pods.
the positive note of everyone else being in the pods is that like our work on the outside of the pods will get compensated for it way more.
Yes.
Because we'll have less competition.
Yes. Hamish McEwen also saying it is all a matter of taste. It is. Everybody has particular taste. I do. I like a nice cigar, a nice whiskey, a nice
No, I think
breeze.
objectively buying a Lambo is a bad idea.
I do as well. Maybe it's in your taste. Who was that like crypto influencer? Like had like a whole YouTube video about buying his first Lambo because he like made it in crypto. Loser.
I don't know. I don't want to say his name. If I knew.
Loser. Last shout out. This is like a message to me before, but I don't really understand it. Maybe he's similar to me, like he's a Ron Burgundy. It just says, I read everything verbatim. Love you, Marty. And here's the shout out. Taproot upgrade is being officially activated in around 370 blocks. So he sent this a little less than 20 blocks before this show started. While the majority, if not all, are excited for this new update, bringing increased privacy and cheaper on-chain fees to the network, no one is talking about how this affects the Lightning Network. Taproot brings the potential to upgrade the protocol instances, LND, C Lightning, Eclair, Rust, etc. to PTLCs, point time lock contracts, instead of using the current HTLC hash time lock contracts. Again, with a slight improvement to Lightning with privacy and a few other benefits. As of this shout out, there is no way to update the channel states from HTLCs to PTLCs without closing the channel. So we have to, in a slow and methodical way, close and reopen all 80,000 channels, around 80,000 channels on the Lightning Network. Why is no one talking about this? Not a super big deal, but I think it should be discussed. Love you, freaks. Anon. We talk about this pretty consistently.
We literally talked about it like the last two fucking episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something.
The last two episodes, but with Arbed Out and on Rabbit Hole.
And on Rabbit Hole, and if you listen to my episode with Chris Stewart, we talked about it there, and Alex Leishman. I've been talking about this a lot. Matt was impressed that I asked this question at BitDevs last month.
Was I?
Remember, that was the question I asked. I was like, how do we plan on...
Yeah, I was impressed.
How do we plan on transit?
You had to shout it across the fucking room.
Yeah, and now it is, I mean... So to break down...
we're going to have to close all of our fucking channels.
Yeah, so right now...
I brought it up on the dispatch, too, with Nickler.
Yeah, so let's explain it right now. So right now, when you create a Lightning Network channel, you lock a UTXO up in a 2 of 2 multisig that creates a hash time lock contract, and that is based off the ECDCA signature that Bitcoin currently uses. Once we have Schnorr signatures locked in with Taproot, and again, 350 odd blocks, maybe it's 40 odd blocks now, that'll give us the ability to leverage Schnorr signatures to create what is known as a point time lock contract, which adds efficiency and privacy gains to those channel openings and the facilitation of sats between channel participants when they are open. And so that is a big thing. Like, you want those benefits the Lightning Network has obviously experienced some pretty exponential growth over the last year, and there's going to be a better way to do channel creation on the Lightning Network. With
the important part is like the meme that like we're creating channels for our grandchildren is bullshit.
Why you say that?
Because not only are we going to close it for PTLCs, we're going to close it for whatever fucking acronym is after that.
Yeah. Patience freaks for PTLCs.
So just the Matt learning experience of opening a shit ton of channels continues to get more expensive by the day.
From what I understand, there are some developers, I believe AJ Towns and Lalu, I believe, are working on ways to transition HTLC to a PTLC without having to close it down. I mean, do you want to bet on whether or not they'll actually be able to do it, or if they're working on it? I know they're working on it and thinking about it. Will they be able to do it?
Do you want to bet it doesn't require an on-chain transaction?
No, I don't. I'm just trying to. Why are you trying to make everything into a bet? I'm just trying to explain things. I'm just trying to explain things, Matt. I'm not trying
skin in the game. We're Bitcoiners.
I think we have a lot of skin in the game at this point. We just explain things to freaks without getting engaged in bets. Can we do that?
Okay. I'll give you like a 20-minute timeout on that.
Okay, thank you. In 20 minutes, we're going to bet on something. I don't know what it's going to be. Yeah, we'll see. And actually, I've been another benefit of living in Austin, Texas, is I've been able to meet up with Ryan Gentry for beers almost once a week, and that's one thing we talked about. And he's saying that some of the people at Lightning Labs, they do worry that the transition from HTLCs to PTLCs could create a quasi second system syndrome scenario that we should be cognizant of and aware of and thinking of. And that's why I like this. That's why I like the shout out, as he says again, as of the shout out, there's no way to update the channel states from HTLCs to PTLCs without closing the channel. So we have to, in a slow and methodical way, close and reopen all 80,000 channels on the Lightning Network as of right now. So I think, as he's saying, as Matt has been alluding to too, we should do this we should think through this transition to HTLCs to PTLCs.
As soon as we end this episode, I'm just going to close all my fucking channels. One big batch.
Well, let's walk through this. Let's talk, like, if you do want to realize the benefits of a PTLC over an HTLC, and you're not willing to wait for a potential solution that may never come to fruition, that would allow you to do it without having to close and reopen, how would you do it? Like, what would you be looking for? Would you do it at a certain time of day, certain time of the week, at a certain fee rate? How do you take care of interacting with your channel counterpart? What is your advice there?
I'm going to wait until we have a sustained high fee market and fees are sitting around 120 sats per byte. And then I'm going to freak out. I'm going to close all my channels, pay the highest fee rate possible, and then the fee market's going to disappear afterwards. And I could have just done it for 1 sat per byte. Like, that is probably what is going to happen.
Well, okay, let's see. Best case scenario. What is the best case scenario? What should freaks be looking for to take advantage of if they want to make this transition?
I mean, right now, fees are really low, right? So right now, you should probably be trimming your channels. If you have channels that are, maybe not completely necessary, close them for 1 sat per byte. You can wait a couple months if you need to, but you probably won't have to because 1 sat per byte keeps clearing. And just get it done now. Like, trim the low-hanging fruit. Any channels that you're not necessarily needing right now, get rid of them. And prepare yourself. Don't wait for like magic math that's going to make it so it's 1 transaction instead of 2 transactions.
Well, let's harken back to something we said earlier. Like, once Taproot and Schnorr activated, like, do we have to wait? Like, how easy is it going to be to open a PTLC?
It's going to be a while.
Yeah. So exactly. Like, are you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, trim your low-hanging fruit.
Well, would you like? It doesn't even make sense to trim now.
It does, because fees are low, and you never know when fees are going to go back up.
But what if you still want to leverage the Lightning Network? You could be waiting.
So you should still have channels open. I mean, I have fucking...
Car, can you pull that Sikorsky comment back up?
My main node has like 280 channels open.
So Max Sikorsky is saying easy on one balanced channel with a peer HTLC. Update node, open second channel to same peer. Rebalance old channel into new channel, done. but Max, I don't know if you can answer this on the fly.
That's two
here.
transactions.
It's 2 transactions, but like, will you be able to do that? Like, once Taproot's activated,
No.
like, are all these Lightning implementations, like, is the next version going to be Taproot compatible, and will you be able to open a PTLC? That's my question. I'm not sure. I don't think so.
So Marty, he's saying that's from Super Testnet, and we have him at Pleb Lab.
Okay.
Just like close the channels you don't need today, and just do it at 1 separate byte, and then wait for them to fucking go.
Okay.
Like, prepare yourself. Like, have like 1 or 2, 5, maybe 10 big channels with good nodes, and get rid of all your other fucking excess, because you're going to need to open new channels for PTLCs, and it's going to take a little bit, but you can still use Lightning in the meantime.
Yeah, and the benefits of PTLCs are pretty profound.
Oh, my dog's pretty angry at me right now.
Last year, March 2020, we did an episode with Chris Stewart and Nadav Cohen. I would go back and re-listen to that if you want to learn about the benefits of PTLCs. Nadav, who's a fucking genius and has been working very hard on this stuff, and gave a very thorough explanation of what PTLCs are, what they can, how they can benefit, and like why we should want to transition to them. Yeah, as Max says, yes, technically 2 transactions, but you can be patient since the update will take years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't rush into it right away, freaks. Like, don't freak out. If you leverage the Lightning Network, you get utility from it right now. I wouldn't rush to close all your channels and expect to be able to reopen channels with PTLCs the week after Taproot goes live. I don't think that's going to be possible. So wait. I'm sure there are people much smarter than Matt and I who are going to explain ways in which this is going to be rolled out. And we will obviously keep you abreast of that information as it comes to
All this is irrelevant because in 2 years we won't be using Lightning. We'll just be using Stacks. So
that was a good shout out. I like that shout out. But like, I am like, whoever the Anon that sent that shout out, like, do you even listen to the podcast? We've been talking about this for like a month now. Like, are we the only ones talking about this?
yeah, no one else is talking about this.
We talk about the stuff that nobody else wants to talk about here at RHR.
Damn right. Even if it's our sponsors.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
The you know what else is hardcore, Car? I'm gonna have you pull this up. Go to my profile, and I quote tweeted a video yesterday, and I said, "Get her out of the country, kick her out of the country." Are we able to like play video audio through this live stream? We shall see.
Yeah, we can try.
I want to bring this up. This wasn't on the list, but it was bent yesterday. I was pretty black-pilled yesterday, if you couldn't tell.
You rolled past our live stream. Can we play our live stream in the live stream?
Wait, what did you say? No, we're not going to do that, man. Where are we?
Keep going now. Keep going. Now, this happened.
It's not.
Keep going. That's Klaus Schwab. He's been planning this shit for over a decade.
You got a lot of ads on your Twitter.
That's your Twitter that's feeding you ads.
Yeah, you gotta get uBlock Origin.
Okay, I'll do that.
Remember the owl. Keep going down.
I don't
Sunday
see
Night
any of
Football.
these ads.
That. Can you pull that video up? And can we get audio on it? Okay, start over. Pause it first. So, reason I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, why are we bringing this up?
You'll understand once you listen to it. I think there's something.
We're about to starve the fossil fuel industry, right?
Well, so there's that. So this is what I wrote about yesterday in the Bent. Like, it feels like there's a full-on assault after this COP26 meeting. I've been talking with we had Texas Slim on. He talked about this. I've been talking about this with Whitney Webb. I'm gonna record with her next week as well, actually. About this COP26. Like, it seems like there's gonna be a coordinated marketing effort after, like, now that COP26 is over, to decarbonize the planet, to create a carbon credit system. They're going to do it in many ways. They're going to try to affect the food system and the food supply chain. They're going to try and move us off of meat and towards the fucking bugs and all the soy patties and all that shit. And they're attacking the energy industry as well. And this woman right here, so we've talked about her before. Can you scroll up just a little bit, Kari?
We should put carbon credits on Stacks.
Saleh Amarava. She won the Lenin Award at Moscow University. She's a literal Leninist, a Marxist, that the Biden administration, Joe Biden, it's not him because he can't even fucking think. It's the puppet masters above him have nominated this woman to replace Brian Brooks as the officer of the comptroller of the currency. And just now we can
Wait,
press.
really? She's nominated to be comptroller of the currency?
Yes, press play.
Oh, I thought she was like, okay. I can't hear her. Still can't hear her.
I can hear her.
Can the freaks hear her? Freaks, can you hear her?
Yeah, we'll see if they can hear.
Yeah, we have to wait 33 seconds. So we'll replay the video if the freaks can hear it, but
Okay, they can't
They
hear.
can't
So we'll
hear
fix
it.
that for next time. Sorry, guys.
they can't hear it. I could hear it.
We need a new producer.
We'll fix that in
Look at all
post.
the no's.
We'll fix
They
that.
they give us so many no's.
But basically, the gist of what this woman's saying, again, she's nominated. She's been put forth by the current administration to be the comptroller of the currency. She's saying that we need to create this NIA, which is it's basically going to be like a nationalized Federal Reserve that is going to be able to dictate how money is allocated and whether or not capital allocators can allocate capital to certain entities. They're going to have like a filtering system via this nationalized, essentially Federal Reserve. It's already pretty nationalized and it's already pretty connected with the government, but they're just going to be like just completely overt with it under her plan. And they're going to attempt to defund the oil and gas industry here in the U.S. This woman is nominated to be the comptroller of the currency in the United States right now. She's an avowed Marxist. She won the Lenin Award at Moscow University. Like all the politicians that were clutching their pearls over like the Russian bots and like the Russian manipulating of our like politics, nobody's saying anything about this. She's literally, I believe she's from Kazakhstan, but she's from like that Eastern European bloc and has some Leninist theories that she's running with, and she's up for nomination to control our currency, and she wants to nationalize the banking industry and the capital allocation industry and just literally centrally plan the economy. Well, one of the goals is to shut down the oil and gas industry. And so that's just one move. And then if you read the Bent yesterday, another one is right now, shout out to Ice Age Farmer. If you guys haven't checked out his YouTube page, I fell on that rabbit hole yesterday. Go check it out. He's been reporting on the way that the World Economic Forum, the Davos class, have been attacking the farming industry, particularly here in the United States. And their most recent attack, which is being implemented by the federal government, is to basically go to a bunch of farmers in the Midwest, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, that area of the country, and they're using eminent domain to seize farmland from farmers who have been on this land for generations so they can build a 1,300-mile long pipeline to transport carbon dioxide to pump it back into the ground. And they're going to take that farmland that's very productive, that's producing crops, that is feeding our country, and they're going to wipe out all those crops, and they're going to replace it with wind and solar farms. It is fucking insane. And these people are moving to do this right now. Farmers are getting letters from the federal government.
Carbon dioxide pipeline?
Yes, they're getting these farmers. You can go look up the letters. They're out there.
Is it liquid carbon dioxide, or is it like?
I don't even
gas?
know. I don't know. It's gas, I think. But like,
How does that work? Is that like?
It's a fucking LARP,
effective?
dude. It's a virtue signal. It's not effective. It's fucking asinine. It's asinine. But you laugh. But like farmers are literally having their farmland.
What else are you gonna do, Marty? Of course you gotta laugh. Like you gotta laugh.
They're
at
having
this
their
fucking
land, generational land, ripped
thing.
away
I know,
from
that's
them
fucked up. I
via
shouldn't
eminent
laugh at that.
domain. They're going to replace these crops with unreliable solar and wind farms. It's happening right now. Like these farmers
The
are like,
carbon dioxide pipeline is hilarious.
Yes.
Them stealing land is not. Eminent domain is never funny.
and it's happening
That's
though.
just the government taking
Millions of
people's
acres of farmland are getting taken away from farmers via eminent domain for this nonsensical stuff. Like, again, they're trying to control the energy and the food. And people have been calling me crazy, Marty Jones. It's fucking happening. Like, these farmers,
Marty Jones.
these farmers are going to like their county. Like, what do we do? Like, they're taking our farmland. The county's like, I don't know. Like, it's eminent domain. Like, you have to give it to them. And it's happening right now. Like, something needs to give. Like, people need to stand up and go protect these farmers, because if this plan gets through, there are going to be food shortages. And people laugh, and it's not a laughing matter. What they're trying to do with the energy sector and the food sector is going to lead to rolling blackouts in inopportune times in the winter and the middle of the summer. And with this farmland shit, it's going to lead to food shortages. It's going to lead to deaths. Like, it is going to hurt people materially. People are going to die if these plans are implemented. It is that serious.
Well, I mean, if they're taking land from people, none of the other things that matter, I mean, those are domino effects. They do matter, but I mean, that's fucked up, period.
Yeah.
If they're
And then
taking
on
people's
top of
property.
that, the same week that Biden and his puppet masters are going and begging OPEC to produce more oil, literally 2 days later, they come out and they announce they plan on shutting down the Enbridge Pipeline 5 in Michigan that goes through Canada, Wisconsin, and Michigan, which supplies that whole part of the country with very reliable oil products and allows them to have relatively cheap.
So why don't they use an existing pipeline that they're shutting down to transfer carbon dioxide that way?
I don't know. They can't transfer a gas.
They're like
or a
shutting
liquid
down
pipeline.
one pipeline, and then they're going to add a new carbon dioxide pipeline. By the way, I checked. MartyJones.com was bought in 2001.
Damn.
I feel like we should own that.
Maybe we should.
Donate to the show, freaks. We're going to try and buy MartyJones.com.
But yeah, freaks. Like, everybody thinks I'm crazy. I had a lot of people like, some people like, stay out of politics. Like, you just keep writing about Bitcoin. Like, this isn't even political. This is like a full-on attack on sovereignty in the United States. Like, and it is connected to Bitcoin because Bitcoin helps us defund these maniacal, insane people who want to make your life worse off. Like, if they are successful in implementing these plans, everybody's life is going to be materially worse off in the United States. And people have to start realizing, number one, that it's happening. They need to know that there is a problem and that there are people implementing a plan to do this stuff. And number two, they need to speak up about it. That's what I'm trying to do here in the newsletter and anywhere I can. And number three, they need to stand up and act against it. Say, this is fucking insane. If you do this, people are going to die. People are going to go hungry. People are going to go cold. Like, we need to fix it. Like, it's time for the silent majority to stop being silent and to stand up and say, all right, we're adults. It's fucking 2021. You guys are fucking up the world, let alone the country. There is no climate crisis, freaks. There is no climate catastrophe. The world's going to be fine. Cities aren't going to fall into the ocean. We are going to need fossil fuels. We have needed fossil fuels. They've provided us with the incredible society that we have today. They're going to continue to improve society moving forward. Enough of this nonsense. Don't let these people fear spell you into giving up your comfort of living. Fuck these people. I'm going to relight my stogie.
And on to software updates?
No, we can't go in yet. What do you think? You don't like talking about this stuff, but we have to talk about this stuff.
I mean, I think carbon dioxide pipelines are a stupid fucking idea.
Dude, they're talking about putting masks on cows to catch their burping. Like, acting like that's going to do anything. Fuck these people.
I mean, I think someone.
And I was like questionable about the Ice Age farm. Like, is this really happening today at KNC Cattle Ranch? I asked Cole, the owner of that ranch. I was like, is this happening? He's like, yes, it's happening, and it's fucking scary.
Look, I think if you want to start talking about people making sacrifices for the climate emergency, we should start with rich people's private jets.
Agreed.
And once they decide that rich people can fly on the private jets, then we could take it from there. I think that would be a very constructive way of handling it.
Yeah, like, you know how many private jets showed up at COP26? You know how many?
They were all private jets. It was
like
literally
400 of them.
private jets.
And one of them,
who was the pleb who showed up to COP26 like, oh, I flew coach?
Greta. And they wouldn't even let her in. They're like, you've done enough, Greta. Stay in the streets. But there was one, I believe she was like a Scottish politician. She flew like back and forth between like her hometown and like Glasgow, where it was going on like 50 times between like the 3-week event or something like that. Not 50, but like
ridiculous.
it was an insane amount of times.
Well, no. I mean, what did Greta do? Greta like
blah blah
didn't she,
blah,
like,
blah blah
like
blah.
her whole crew flew on the plane and then met her to take her on the sailboat or whatever. When she did her like cross Atlantic thing.
These people are hypocrites, man. They're the biggest hypocrites in the world. They hate you. They want to control you. And they're not going to stop unless people stand up and say, fuck you. Fuck you, Klaus Schwab. Fuck you, Davos class. We are autonomous individuals. You do not dictate what we do. You are wrong. Not only are they evil, they're wrong. The world is going to be fine. What we should be worried about is an asteroid. You want a climate catastrophe? If an asteroid hits the world and fucking creates massive floods and clouds out the sky. That's a climate catastrophe.
What about like a solar flare?
That's not a climate catastrophe. That's more of like an electromagnetic catastrophe.
I mean, it'd be a catastrophe. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not climate. I mean, is the solar flare climate? Now we're getting into technicalities.
I mean, if it's a bad solar flare, it could fuck with the climate, can't it?
I don't know if it can fuck with the I mean...
I'm not a scientist.
Neither am I. I think there's like more microwaves or radiation, but I don't think it like fucks with the weather. I think it might fucks with like electronics.
It might, right? Like, can't it like create like a hole in the ozone or some shit? I don't know.
I don't know either. I can't speak eloquently to
It
that.
definitely would destroy all our hardware wallets.
Unless you have it in a Faraday cage.
Yeah, I mean, if you have it on, if you have your seeds on steel plates, then you're Gucci.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, at the end of the day, pretty much, I mean, your focus is on the climate conversation and fossil fuels, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's just hypocrisy all the way down. Like, if rich people want to proclaim what we should do, it should start with them.
Yeah. Practice what you preach.
Every proclamation they make should start with them, and they're all fucking full of shit. So
they don't care. They don't care about the environment. They want to. They're using this to control all of us. Fuck these people. Stop listening to them. Like Justin Trudeau, he's up there telling Canada they're gonna be fucking. They're gonna have zero oil and gas by 2030. It would destroy their economy. Alberta, if you're listening, the literal land of Alberta is listening to the podcast somehow. Secede.
Alberta, we would love to have you on the show if you're
talk about like and like Justin Trudeau is trying to say like, oh, climate catastrophe and like oil and gas is racist because like no, like the policies they're trying to implement are racist because what they're going to do is they're going to affect poor people and minorities the worst. Like they're going to increase their electricity rates. Like it's always projection. They're always
inflation hurts poor the worst, right? Like all these things hurt poor people the worst. Gas taxes.
Yeah.
Higher tolls.
And they project. Justin Trudeau's out there calling everybody racist. He's done blackface like literally 5 times. There's like 5 different instances of him doing
I know, blackface. But he got significantly better at it as he went.
Yeah.
The last blackface picture was you couldn't even tell.
You freaks know that Justin Trudeau's Fidel Castro's son too, right? You guys know about the Cuban nipple crisis? He's got brown nipples. His mom was banging Fidel Castro. He looks nothing like his dad. His quote-unquote dad. He looks everything like Fidel Castro.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't. They weren't actually married.
No, she was his mistress.
So you're saying Justin Trudeau is
and you can literally
of Fidel Castro.
You can literally look up like flight logs of his mom. We have such
a good producer. He's got it. He's got it up here. Yo, Carr, cheers to you, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it looks just like him.
It really comes down to the nipples. A French Canadian produces
compare the nipples.
2 French Canadians produce pink nipples. Justin Trudeau has brown nipples.
Okay. Should we move on to software updates?
I'm not ready yet.
I wish we had sound. What is that video? Is McLean's a reputable website? What is this?
I don't know.
It looks reputable. They got good UX.
I can hear that. See, why can I only hear that? If you guys can't hear it.
Yeah, we'll fix it for next episode.
You're in the room.
I fucking hate Justin Trudeau. He's such a scumbag. All these people are scumbags. Let's talk about Gavin Newsom getting the booster shot and going away for like 3 weeks because he probably got Bell's palsy or some shit like that.
Young Lurk is asking me, I don't enjoy nipple talk. Like I love nipple talk. So let's just correct the record on that.
Oh, Carr, we don't like release notes because I'm going to start reading them. But I do like reading them. All right. Software updates. BTC Pay Server version 1.3.4 has been released. As always, Matt, stop me if you want to talk about anything particular. I have something I want to talk about particularly here. Spectre Desktop version 1.7.1 has been released. Mercury Wallet version 0.4.48 has been released. This is what I wanted to talk about. I believe it was Guy Swan received a space chain transaction. State chain transaction, not a space chain.
Would you just say space chain?
Yeah, state chain transaction from Mercury Wallet this week. So it seems like that's up and running.
Yeah, people are doing like torches. It's up and running.
Yeah, I didn't notice that till this week. So state chains are here. For any of you freaks who are unaware what a state chain is, another second layer solution that allows you to pass along private keys in a trust minimized fashion. Mercury Wallet is one of the wallets that is building around that.
It's a side chain. We had Tom Trevathan from Mercury on the show.
And we're supposed to have him on again soon, right?
Yeah, if we were Stefan, we could tell you the exact episode, but I do not know the exact episode, so just search it.
I certainly don't. LND version 0.13.4 beta has been released. Should we talk about the BTC Pay server LND stuff? Have you been looking into that at all?
You mean the Lightning address and LN URL?
No, I've seen Nicholas Dorier, BTC Pins were tweeting about their BTC Pay server Lightning implementation on LND has been like borked. I know ours has been fine. We received a shout out today.
But we're LND, right?
Yeah, I mean BTC Pay server is leveraging LND specifically, I believe.
I need to switch to C Lightning.
Ooh, why do you say that?
It just seems so much better.
Why?
I don't know. I've been white pilled on. What are the pills? So red pill is like the good pill. Blue pill is
red
like
pill is like all right, I'm gonna accept the world and the truth for what it is. I'm not gonna be the normie. Blue pill is like
and then
normie.
Blue pill is normie.
I don't want to know.
What is white pill?
White pill is like I accept the red pill, but I'm also like optimistic and like we're gonna get through this. Black pill.
So you're like a mix. White pill's like a mix.
White pills, yeah. So white pill is like I guess like a layer above red, like above red pill. You have white pill or black pill. White pill's
it's
optimistic.
like a layer 2.
Yes.
It's like a layer 2 solution on top of red pill.
I'm sure there's 4chaners out there now like this fucking pussy has no idea what he's talking about. But this is the way I understand it. This is the way I understand it.
And then what's black pill? Black pill's like a negative
black pill's
version
like,
of
like,
the red pill. We're
all
fucked.
All the normies are fucked. They're gonna fucking ruin
So
everything.
like I'm like a white pill kind of guy.
Yes,
I've been red pilled, but a white pill.
Yeah. Like I had a black pill Wednesday. I was like, this is all fucked. They're gonna fucking. So many people are gonna die because these people are gonna fuck up. Like that was yesterday's letter was very black pilled.
Yeah, someone in the comments, win some hacks. Like it should just be pink pilled, because it's like a white plus red kind of thing going on.
Yeah, you had to separate your pills. You can't blend them together.
Okay.
You should
we can continue.
Stop mixing pills, freaks. Okay.
But anyway, I've been white pilled on Sea Lightning.
I have to. I've been Lisa. If you're listening, let me know when you're in Austin next. We're gonna record. Lisa Nugent, aka was it Nifty? I can't remember her handle.
Nifty Nay.
Nifty Nay.
It's Nifty Nay.
Nifty
Lisa
Nay.
Nougat.
Nougat.
She's great.
She works at Blockstream. She's working on Sea Lightning. She brought collaborative channel opens, which is like a quasi coin join too. I think she worked on that specifically. Yeah, quasi. Yeah, I mean the way developers describe it is like Sea Lightning's way more performative. Much
it's just
cleaner.
Better.
Yeah,
it just seems better.
Go check out Sea Lightning, freaks.
After you close all your channels, consider reopening them in Sea Lightning.
Umbrel version 0.0.4, version 0.4.7 has been released. LND 0.13.4 fixes a bug discovered in the previous version, which will break Neutrino. Yeah, this is that. I was talking about this with Ryan the other day. Shout out to the Tab conference. Michael Tidwell, if you're listening.
You fucking killed it, bro.
I know. I'm sorry I wasn't there. There were so many people I've talked to this week and said it was like the highest signal conference they've been to in quite a while. It felt like scaling.
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
I should have skipped Austin BitDevs and just gone to TabConf.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, there were some heavy hitters there. Not apparently, it's just a fact. Like Peter Willow was there, Andrew Polstra, Walu, a bunch of other, or I don't know if Walu was there, but a bunch of studs talking about Bitcoin.
I don't think he was.
It was a very technical conference, so this, I was talking to Ryan about this. Apparently, so apparently on testnet, people have been testing out Taproot, and there is an LND bug that sort of borked Neutrino using Taproot addresses. So apparently this has been fixed already, which is very good to see.
Wait, it was band-aided, right?
Yeah. So this was fixed yesterday, patched yesterday, in Umbrel at least, and LND as well. So that's what it fixed in preparation for
But it's
Taproot.
not like the real fix. it's just a band-aid, and then they're gonna do the real fix later. Is the
Yeah,
plan.
yeah. So be aware of that, freaks. And last but not least, Nick's Bitcoin version 0.0.58 has been released.
Wait, so TL Conscious is saying that black pills shouldn't be like you have a negative outlook on the world.
Wait, what?
I'm going to get canceled for relating black pill with bad.
Look, I mean, freaks, hate to break it to you, we've been trying to get canceled for 2.5 years now. So, the first half year of
No,
of
I think
Rabbit Hole,
he's
we
saying we're going to get canceled by like the 4chan crowd. Like, you're an idiot. You don't understand what black pill is.
Maybe
That's what I was worried about.
Literally asking.
That's what. It's on me. It's on me. That's the way I understand it. I could be wrong.
Well, we'll never know. Well, we'll know, I guess, pretty soon.
We'll find out. People coming at you like, you fucking pussy. You don't understand shit. All right, that was it for the software updates. As always, we're just
It was
making
kind of quiet this week on software updates.
Yeah. Well, as always, like, don't rush into these updates. There's no critical vulnerabilities in any of the ones we described. Obviously, there was that neutrino vulnerability, but it's really not a problem until Taproot's activated and pervasive. So, identifying it early via testnet. But yeah, take your time. You never should be forced to upgrade any of this again, unless there's a critical vulnerability, which you can upgrade if there is, or downgrade to a version where that vulnerability doesn't exist, if that's possible.
Hey, Marty, people are asking about Bitcoin TV when streaming.
That's a question.
Yeah,
for
when's
Matt.
streaming, Marty?
Well, what do we have to do?
It's very easy. We have a producer now. I can just give you the details, and we can just use that as a streaming channel.
Okay, cool.
Next week?
Yeah.
Next
Let's
week.
do it. Well, next week.
Cool.
Next week.
But all the Rabbit Hole recaps get posted there after the fact on BitcoinTV.com. If you don't want to support YouTube, you can just go there. Our full archive is on BitcoinTV.com already.
Yeah. And I'm going to get the interview series archive up there as well.
Yeah, the biggest problem with Bitcoin TV right now is we can't do the live comments. So, like, I love your live comments coming in.
Well, it's funny you bring that up.
If you go to Bitcoin TV, you can't get that.
It's funny you bring that up because DJ wants to help out with that, with Super Chat via Lightning on Bitcoin TV. That's another thing he wants to help out with.
Okay, well, that'd be great. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, he's, again, a fucking stud. Is Citadel Dispatch streamed to Bitcoin TV?
But your live chat won't come over.
We're going to work on it, Wiz. We're going to work on it. Rod. Everybody. Shout out to Bitcoiners. I fucking love you guys. It's been a while since I've had whiskey on this. First time I've had a stogie on an episode. This might become an every week thing. This is not a bad lifestyle.
No, it's a good fit for you. It's a good fit. I mean, knowing from me drinking whiskey every Rabbit Hole recap, like, it's going to age you pretty quick.
Age me?
Yeah, like, you're going to... I mean, look, I support it. I am white-pilled on you smoking stogies every episode.
I'm going to have to get my cousin's personal roller down here. BitcoinBlackFriday.org. What's going on here?
So
Bitcoin Magazine runs this, right?
No. Bitcoin Magazine runs BitcoinBlackFriday.com. NVK, which you should check out as well. BitcoinBlackFriday.org is being run by NVK, and he wants it to be a community project. So he doesn't care, which company you are. If you want to be a part of BitcoinBlackFriday.org, go to the website. It links to the GitHub. Submit a pull request and help him make it the best site it can be.
Like that thing
That's
with
the
the match.
shout out.
I don't have any matches, Sikorsky. I'm sorry.
Because Black Friday is coming up, right? Black Friday is the Friday after Thanksgiving.
There's been
So
some
when's that?
incredible Black Friday memes already. Have you seen them? Like people swimming the shipping containers.
What are they going to sell on there, Matt? Do you know?
Like hardware wallets, merch, Bitcoin things, nodes.
Cool. Should we sell $45 shout outs on Bitcoin Black Friday?
No, always. Well, I think we should just lock it in at 100,000 sats. Shout-out should cost 100,000 sats.
That'd be that's more than $50 right now.
In July, when the new Bitmain miners are not shipping, like, it should cost you fucking $200 to send a fucking shout-out.
You're so bearish, dude.
How's that bearish? Fuck you. How much do you think 100,000 sats is going to be at that point?
It's gonna be like $500, dude. We're gonna be $1 million then, or 500,000.
that would be 500,000. It's like the simplest math ever.
Yeah, my bad.
Well, so I actually thought we pump and then dump by July. Is like the.
Are we in the super cycle, bro? Super
No.
cycle.
No, don't. If a super cycle happens, cool. You know, that'd be great. But like, don't
Here's what I'm thinking.
bank on an 85% drawdown.
You want to hear what I'm
Always bank on
thinking? You know what?
85% drawdown.
You know what I'm thinking? Next 2.5 months, 3 months, fucking skyrocket 6 figures. Maybe we get to like 250, maybe 300, something like that. And then
Bearish.
the government's gonna freak the fuck out, and they're gonna come in hard. Like, you can't pull your Bitcoin off exchanges. Like, we need to fucking fix this. And
That's bullish.
I agree, but like, it is gonna spook people. Like, pretty.
But does the BIS price change from the, like?
I don't know.
If you can't move your coins from exchanges, doesn't the black market price
Create
go
a
up
premium?
in that situation?
I would imagine so, right? 'Cause, like, because free floating Bitcoin, that would all be fungible, and I guess the claims on the Bitcoin would be different, right? It would be a different asset. The claims on exchange Bitcoin. At
Yeah,
that
if you
point.
can't withdraw it, it should be cheaper than Bitcoin you can use, right?
Yeah. They're asking for TFTC merch. Can we get the merch store back up and running? Like, how
We
do
got
we?
a producer now.
But let's describe for any freaks who, like, because this is a common question, like, why don't you have any merch? We used to have merch. We pulled the store after Ledger got hacked because we don't want any freaks buying merch from our store to have their data hacked, and like that's like
We
the last thing.
panicked and just deleted the whole store.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want that.
That's what happened.
Like, I'd rather keep your information safe than make some money off of it. So we need to figure out a way to do it in which we can respect.
So what I think we should do is, we do BitBlock Boom every year. We do Bitcoin Magazine's conference every year. Like, we should get into the habit of having merch for sale at those events.
Oh, just do like drops.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you come and you buy it in
We
person,
only sell
and then you're not
drops.
giving us shipping information or anything.
Limited supply. I love that.
It's like a Supreme drop. But I would also like to do it like a drop. I would like to figure out how to do it on the internet, which is a way like where you give us your shipping information, we ship it, then we delete it immediately. I don't know how to
So
do
you
that.
know what I was doing for the dispatch hats, right?
Like, Keybase, like,
And then I would literally, like, there was no Shopify integration or anything. It was just, I would get the address, I would take it, I would write it on the fucking package, delete it. And
that's
then
not
just-
scalable. That's not scalable. We need something
No,
scalable.
it's not scalable at all. I don't think otherwise.
Yeah. So if any of you freaks out there, I mean, NVK does it. Like, he deleted all of his user database. Like, I mean, it's just. What do you mean by that? Are you saying it's a LARP?
He tries.
What do you mean by he
You know?
tries?
Like, it's still on the internet. You're still, like, writing your fucking shit in the internet.
Yeah. It's called.
I like the
mail
idea
order.
of the conference drops. Come to BitBlock Boom. Come to Bitcoin 2022. We'll hook you up.
What if these freaks don't remain anon? They don't want to show up in person, but they do want to wear the merch. How do we support
So
that?
then we'll have, like, people who buy bulk from us at those events, and then they can do the reselling.
Oh yeah, there you go. Like eBay, right, or some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, figure
And then
it out.
it's distributed.
Yeah. We'll figure it out, freaks. We'll figure it out. Last but not least on the list.
We could just start the merch store again.
What was a good segue into the final topic that we have? Robinhood had a data breach that impacts 7 million of their customers. So this is what we're worried about.
It's so bad.
We don't
So
want this
bad.
to happen. And to send merch, we need your name, your address, and all that shit. And I think the Robinhood leak gave out even
Wait,
more.
so
Go ahead.
Weirdo bot said that's some expensive ass merch. Conference tickets plus merch price. No, you don't have to necessarily buy the conference ticket. Like, we would be in Austin for BitBlock Boom, and then you could just buy it from us on the side. You don't have to buy it from us at the fucking conference. Or
Yeah, I'll be in the lobby.
in Miami.
I still have to buy a ticket to the city. With that being said,
I mean, Like, come on, man. Like, if you can't afford the $200, $150 fucking plane ticket, like, maybe you should just stack sats instead of buying the fucking merch in the first place.
Yeah, and oh, we gotta add a conference trip for you, Matt. South by Southwest here in Austin. We're gonna do some big things that week.
I'm gonna be there for it.
We're up against crypto in Austin. We're gonna have a Bitcoin only. Unchained's gonna be involved.
And we're gonna have
Human
some
rights.
TFTC merch there too. So
Yes,
if you want merch,
we're gonna have like we're gonna have a house with the studio. We're gonna have a South by Southwest studio.
I was talking to Tanguma about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit. All right, we're gonna take.
Yeah, well,
over.
I'll be there.
Yeah, good. You better be.
And so will our merch. So
we got to think of some.
If you want merch, you can come. You can come for that, or like, Marty's gonna be in Austin all the time. He literally lives there. So if you go to Austin, you can get some merch. If you go to the conference, you can get some merch. Wherever I end up, if you go there, you can get some merch. I think that's like a cool strategy. Like, we keep it on the. It's like it's more intimate.
How much do we charge? Are we charging like $125 a T-shirt? What are we doing?
Like, merch is not like. It's not like a profitable venture. It's not like something. It's something intimate between us and the freaks. Mm-hmm. So like, you should have a drink with us, and you should get some merch. Right? Like that should be.
I think Matt's right.
I love Carr. He's a great producer.
No. I think he gets it. Like, I think I'm totally on board with what Matt's dishing out.
All right, Carr's a freak, so he's representing the freaks here.
Let's fucking go.
I'm down. I'm in.
Yeah, look, we got Neil in the comments. Matt gave me a hat at breakfast.
Today?
That's how it should be.
Today? You got Neil? You got
No,
breakfast
at
with
Bit
Neil
Black
today?
Boom. At Bit
You
Black
got
Boom,
breakfast
I
with Neil
walked up
today?
to
Are you
that.
two meeting up and having breakfast, talking mining and all that shit?
It was at Bit Black Boom.
Neil, how many White Claws?
He was at like 4 White Claws at breakfast.
You sicko. We talked about it a few weeks ago. I'm a big fan of ranch waters. Big fan.
Yeah, ranch waters are good.
Spicy ranch water hits nice. That's it for the topics we have on the list. Let's riff, bro. I'm feeling good right now. I got some whiskey. I got plenty of whiskey to finish. Maybe I'll top off a little bit. Gotta finish this stogie. What are we thinking, Matt?
On my list, I had like a list for talking about it after the show. It was just stacks and full caps. But we already talked about it.
We talked about stacks to a point where Wiz yelled at us.
Yeah, I have nothing.
What else is going on? Meek Mill wants to get paid in Bitcoin. Who else? Who else hopped on the scene this week, coming out being in favor of Bitcoin? Joe Rogan was talking about it. We talked about that last week.
Was that real? Did you?
I listened to the episode yesterday. It is real.
It wasn't a joke, right?
I don't think so. No. What else can we talk about? Pod life. I'm not going in the pod ever. You can't smoke stogies in the pod. You can't.
I think you keep like bringing up Ready Player One. Like, Ready Player One is like shitcoin sci-fi. Like, it's not very good sci-fi.
I'm not bringing it up. Freaks are bringing it up.
You sci-fi guy? Oh, we're over 65K.
Boss.
My block clock is out of the.
So Evergrande, the Evergrande dump's over.
There's no way that Evergrande had Bitcoin and they dumped Bitcoin.
I don't know, dude.
If Evergrande had Bitcoin, it was custodial Bitcoin.
I don't
It wouldn't
know,
even be on
dude.
chain when they dumped it.
What do you think? Like, everybody's like, oh, China gave up this big opportunity by like kicking mining out. I don't think people realize that, like, outside of the U.S., like, Chinese citizens probably own way more Bitcoin than most of the world, even U.S. citizens.
I think it's like U.S. and Chinese, and I think we kind of rival them, to be honest.
Do you?
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I would say, like, if you looked at a pie chart of like ownership of Bitcoin, like, that'd be very good FUD. If it was like an ownership of Bitcoin pie chart, and if you could actually know exactly who owned what, but you can't, and where they were from. If you could know where they were from, and you had a pie chart, it would be like the overwhelming majority would be Chinese and American.
And then Mircea Popescu. What happened to his?
Or you'd have like the Germans, you'd have the Dutch.
Did you see? I believe Bitcoin.
Latin America.
Bitcoin
has,
Magazine tweeted out say Kazakhstan has the second largest percentage of hash rate in the world right now.
That can't be true.
That's what they're saying, bro.
So who's first? China?
Maybe
US?
the U.S. Maybe the U.S. now.
No way.
Potentially.
Wait, no. I mean, I'm not saying the U.S. isn't the first.
I mean,
I don't think they are.
Kazakhstan.
I don't think we are the first.
I don't think it's China. I mean, the
Look,
Cambridge Institute chart has China at 0%. So
I love the Bitcoin Magazine team. We built a great team over there. They are my brothers and sisters. They are family. The Twitter account, you cannot take those tweets at face value anymore. I do not know. You don't know what's if they said that Kazakhstan is number 2. Did they link a source?
I'm not. I believe they did, but I will piggyback on that comment.
Carl, let's pull it up.
Like another thing the Bitcoin Magazine thing does, it like irks me a little bit. The Bitcoin Magazine Twitter is like somebody will make an announcement saying like we allocated the crypto and they'll like replace crypto with Bitcoin, and it's just like a little.
No, that's good.
I don't know. I don't think. I think
they mean Bitcoin.
Not all the time.
They almost always mean Bitcoin. I support that. I support replace. So CoinDesk does the opposite, right?
Well, they did it like so. Here's an example. Here's an example of exactly what I'm talking about. Houston firefighters pension bought Bitcoin and Ethereum. And like they made it seem like it was only Bitcoin. In the bent, I mentioned the Ethereum.
No. So CoinDesk does the opposite, right? So if someone mentions Bitcoin, they say they replace it with crypto.
Okay, that's good. Fair. That's fair. All
right.
Here's the tweet.
So if someone mentions crypto, Bitcoin Magazine, if they know Bitcoin's involved, they'll replace it with Bitcoin and ignore the.
They're citing the Cambridge Institute, which I don't know if we can trust.
Oh, we were talking about how that was kind of bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So what are they saying? Who's first?
Looking at that heat map.
It looks like
are we first? Oh, we're first because Cambridge says China has no hash. Remember?
Yeah, which is just not true.
Okay, so even if Kazakhstan's number 3, that's big.
Right?
Huge for Borat.
Is he Kazakhstani?
No. His character is though.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean Kazakhstan, but like Kazakhstan too, they took on a lot of the China miners that left, but like they're also one of those countries. They have like a similar Hydro-Quebec thing going up. Like they promised everybody like no sales tax, and then all these miners came to some hosting facilities in Kazakhstan. They're like, oh, we're gonna jack up your prices and your sales tax actually. So I wouldn't be surprised that wanes that percentage a bit in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not just power cost when you're deciding where you're going to host your miners, right?
Political risk, and it exists
political
everywhere.
Risk is arguably the most important part.
That's why I am a big advocate of off-grid. You avoid the political risk the most. There's political.
But I would say
there's political risk here in the U.S. on grid.
Massive. There's massive political risk in America.
Yeah. Be careful.
We have some of the lowest energy prices in the world, but we have massive political risk.
Yeah,
but not as much as Kazakhstan, because that can just like.
We have a fucking Marxist being put up to be the comptroller of the currency right now, and she wants to shut down the oil and gas industry. Wake up, freaks! We're being attacked. We're in the middle of a color revolution here in the United States. I'm not afraid to say it anymore.
Check this out, Marty.
When were you afraid of saying it?
Never. So Sean Connell at Sean Energy, SHAUN. ERCOT, West Texas, price impact with high/low renewables penetration October 8th to October 11th. Wind and solar generation averaged over 20 gigawatts. Terawatt hour. I think you got the TW mixed up there. Power prices average at $3 a megawatt hour, which is like 3 cents. October 12th, wind dropped from 20 gigawatts down to 2 gigawatts and back up to 20 gigawatts.
No, that's West Texas power prices.
Oh, West Texas power prices. Average 45. So that went up 50% day over day. Or, excuse me, not even 50%, excuse me, 1,500%. And that's the thing. Like, this is what I was saying yesterday. on the podcast on Swan Signal, like all the Bitcoin miners, like I'll repeat it here because this is a big platform as well. Stop catering to the climate hysterics, all right? You're just leading yourselves to a fucking destruction. Stop appeasing them. They're wrong. They're stupid. The world is going to be fine. And you're putting your business at risk. Like everybody here in Texas specifically, not everybody, but a lot of people here in Texas are like, oh, Bitcoin miners were using wind and solar and like we're building out excess capacity. You can build out as much wind and solar capacity as you want. You can build out hundreds, thousands of gigawatts of solar farms and wind turbines. It doesn't matter. When the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine, those thousands of gigawatts worth of capacity aren't going to produce electricity. Like this is a perfect example. The wind electricity production here in Texas last month fell precipitously from 20 gigawatts to 2 gigawatts. It fell by 90% day over day. And this could happen for extended periods. And your mining operation could be shit out of luck. And the grid, even worse, will be shit out of luck as well. Stop encouraging the overproduction of these unreliable energy sources. Like you're leading humanity towards shitty situations. Just accept that if we want to have reliable energy, we need to use sources like natural gas, coal, diesel, and nuclear. Like if you're really worried about like base load energy and it being clean, we should be advocating for nuclear. Yet nobody wants to do it. Wind and solar are not going to save us. They're actually going to make us less secure. Stop like this meme like, oh, Bitcoin's incentivizing solar and wind generation. Maybe it is, but that's not necessarily a good thing because these things are unreliable. You cannot predict when there will be clouds in the sky or when the wind won't blow. You can't control that.
You see this?
It's unreliable.
Clydesdale?
No, what's he saying?
You listen to the Compass Sustainable Mining part, Marty?
No, what was that? What are we talking about?
There we go.
I have not listened to it, no. Zach Vole, are you shilling? Oh, yeah, I believe they had like some West Texas miners on. I didn't listen to it. I saw it. I was like, stop catering to these people, Zach. Compass. I mean, you can have these beliefs and you can push forward for these initiatives. I just think it's fucking dumb. I think it's very fucking dumb. And I think it's going to make everybody look stupid. And you're doing it to appease hysterics. And they're never going to be appeased. That's the one thing you have to realize. Like you're trying to produce these numbers. Like look how clean Bitcoin mining is. Look how much quote unquote renewable. There's no such thing as renewable energy, number one. It's a fucking made up term. There's no such thing as green energy, number one. It all comes with trade-offs.
Wait.
Define renewable. Define it. It's like a perpetual motion machine. That's the way it's described.
Yeah, okay. I guess that's fair.
It's not. Like solar panels and wind turbines have to be recycled. They have a life cycle.
And you still need to like do maintenance on them.
Yeah. And you have to then you can even do maintenance, but they have a life cycle. Like they stop working after a certain amount of years, and then you have to recycle them. And guess what? When you recycle them, you have to bury these fucking toxic materials underground.
Why recycle that when you can just recycle Bitcoin, use stacks, and then you don't even have to bother with that?
Bitcoin miners. That's like
I
the one
would
thing.
say though that Marty, I've been looking. I've been looking
at
property.
Wait. Last thing I'll say. Wind and solar are only cheap in West Texas because they're subsidized, and everybody's like, "Oh, you'll gas subsidized too." Not anywhere near to the level that wind and solar are subsidized in West Texas. Those are artificially low prices that are produced by subsidies, and they're creating market dislocations.
Well, subsidies are fucking up the fossil market too, fossil fuel market as well.
Did you not listen to what I just said? Like that's what everybody says. They say, "Hey, fossil fuels are subsidized as well," which is true, but nowhere near to the level where wind and solar are subsidized.
Oh, 100%. I mean, like Tesla is like a carbon credits company or whatever.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was, I haven't admitted it to you yet, but I'm like looking at property that has like streams on it.
What kind of streams?
Right?
Water streams? Gas streams?
Yeah. No, like water. You have water going through, and like I can get hydro from that water.
I like this. See, I'm
Right.
okay with that. So that's like
So
I was actually talking about this.
I can mine from that water for way longer potentially than a gas well but the gas well is going to give me better short-term production.
Yeah, it's more energy dense is the way people would describe
Right.
it. Yeah.
Dense. Right. So there's like a word there. I don't know if renewable is the word, but there's a word there.
Well, even that,
Like the snow melt from the mountain is going to happen every year.
yeah, you can't guarantee that.
Replenished energy or something.
Well, it's not about the energy. It's about like the thing that's taking that energy and turning it into electricity. Like you have a mechanism there, like that.
Right.
Hydro.
I'm gonna maintain that turbine or whatever the fucking thing that's happening.
No, I'm all for that.
Wow,
Actually,
I love Carr. Look at this.
Yeah. So
he's just constantly evolving.
So I actually thought, like, I wanted to buy farmland up in Bucks County, Pennsylvania before the world went to shit. And that's what I was actually looking for, land along the Delaware, so I could take advantage of the Delaware River flows and like just like bury like a hydro turbine like on the riverbank and get electricity from that to run the mining operation.
That's genius, Marty.
That's like, so if I ever move back to PA, that's where I'm going to be looking, is like along the Delaware to put that in.
That's a good idea. I like that idea. I think we should all be trying to just secure land.
I agree.
Did you see what Untapped did?
I did. Yeah, I did see that. His land looks beautiful.
It's great.
And I love this tweet. We own everything. You can see, like we own everything you can see. It's incredible to see.
That's what we should be focusing on, you know. Voluptuous tits on our land. Not in our Lambo.
I'm very white pilled now. I was black pilled yesterday and white pilled today. I'm sorry if I'm using black pill to.
I'm pro black pill, white pill, red pill, and then blue pill can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm pro the
potential
tri-pill,
energy. Yes, you're right.
the
You take the
area.
potential energy, you turn it into kinetic energy, and yeah.
Because sometimes I go dark.
I go dark. Yeah, I get into.
But I try and stay as optimistic as possible.
Yeah. Ooh, that's actually something like Steve Barber was tweeting about this. One of the comments just came up: hydro and geothermal. Like, Bitcoin mining can literally incentivize us to bring back the Garden of Eden, because we can stabilize volcanoes essentially by, like, volcanoes erupt because they have this buildup of pressure of that heat and that steam that causes the lava to explode. You can literally depressure that by like poking a hole in it and using that geothermal energy to mine Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin fixes the world, makes it more stable. And yet people are trying to be like, oh, Bitcoin mining's destroying the environment. It literally can help us fix everything.
I think, you know, proof of transfer is an improvement on proof of work. And no, it is pretty ridiculous that pretty much 90% of the industry thinks that proof of work is the problem that needs to be solved when it's really the innovation.
How did
I hate
do?
Wiz. Wiz is a horrible person.
I love
No one
Wiz.
used mempool.space or Bisq.
Thanks, Wiz.
Wiz, I don't know. Carr, that was like a humble brag there. You're putting that comment.
Technically,
out.
we
I
haven't.
didn't. It's not like I DM'd him personally.
Yeah.
To say that.
No, Carr, can you stay humble, bro? Like, you're gonna just
I
fucking
didn't DM
highlight
him,
that
Matt.
comment?
I didn't
like,
DM
it's
him.
your first episode.
It's not
you're
like
just
me
gonna
and Wiz know
fucking-
each other from a long time.
To the audio freaks, to the people listening on the podcast, Carr just promoted a tweet onto the video feed that
It's very
basically
self-promotional.
sucked his own dick. Yeah.
Very self-promotional.
Like, I like that one right there.
It's all a matter of taste. I might be a little. I got, like, people may look at me and be like, he is like too much high taste. High taste, is that it? I can't even speak right, so maybe I don't have good
High
taste.
taste? I don't think high taste is the word, bro.
Now it is. I'm loving this vibe. We're way over 2 hours now. What should we do?
Yeah, I think we should wrap this up. I got to do fucking another podcast in.
I've got to write a
15
bent.
minutes.
I've got to write a bent.
So I have to try and sober up.
What are you doing? Bitcoin happy hour?
I'm doing Seth Simmons' podcast.
Oh, privacy.
Opt-out pod.
Opt out, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he going to show you Monero the whole time?
I mean, I think we're going to get into a Bitcoin Monero debate. The question is, how drunk am I going to be at that point?
You're pretty drunk right now, so
No, I'm not. Like,
I'm fucking with you. Seth, we're going to bring better privacy to Bitcoin. Just give up on Monero. How many Monero exist? Ask him that, like, straight up.
17 million or something, 16 million.
Is it auditable? Can you be?
Kinda.
Can you guarantee? Yeah, kinda. I'm gonna go get TX output or outset. What is it? God.
No, the podcast is not live. Someone asked if the podcast is gonna be live, but I think it gets posted tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Love you, freaks.
I love you, Marty. Carr, I look forward to meeting you in person. I'll come down and visit Austin before South by and then also for South by.
Yeah.
And I love you, freaks. Stay humble, stack sats.
Peace and love.